This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
Red hot comic book movie news, shooting up your butthole. The Weekly Planet, the Weekly Planet.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Nick Mason.
Oh, and I say, hey.
Yeah?
What's going on?
What is going on?
Podcast. We're doing a podcast.
Mate, there's so many podcasts going on right now, and so thank you to everybody who decided to
stop recording their own podcast so they can listen to our podcast. Or maybe people are doing both.
Has that ever happened, do you think? Someone's ever gone, I have to record no, I'll listen to this podcast first. Do you reckon?
Maybe.
Do you reckon we've interrupted the Joe Rogan experience so he could listen to the Weekly Planet podcast?
Almost certainly, yes. That's right. Well, I've seen you watch a television show with one earbud in.
Yep.
And you're editing a podcast on your laptop.
Yep.
And I'm like, that can't be good.
Oh, none of it's good.
Right.
It's not really doing anything, am I?
It's true. You're ruining your TV watching experience. You're releasing a sub podcast for the listeners. You've ruined their day. But it's quick though.
It's quick. It's way
Bit of a
quicker.
time
Well,
saver.
to be fair, colleagues edits these.
That's true.
So, that's how that is. But this week, Mason, as always, there are time codes below. And these are some
So
of
what
the-
I'm saying, I think my point there was where I was going there is maybe there's people who listen to podcasts in one ear while they edit their own podcast.
Oh, that's probably true.
Or even record their own podcast while listening to another podcast.
Wow.
Right?
That's incredible. I wish I lived that life.
Do you?
And I guess yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Good. Good.
I wish. Variety have a news of a
We're straight into the news.
That's right. No, sorry. I didn't mean to say the variety bit. I'm doing the topics that we're going to go through.
Okay,
with
sure.
the time
Okay.
code. There's
What you're saying is there's a variety of news.
Exactly. There's a bunch of Disney Plus spin-off news stuff in the works.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the Marvel Police, Mason?
No,
We're
but
gonna
I
find
love
out
it.
about that today.
Or I'm going to hate it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Do you like cops? We'll find out.
All right.
James Gunn has some news in relation to the
Wait,
Guardians
has
of the
Marvel
Galaxy.
bought their own police force? Is that what's happening?
That's right.
Is it an OCP style situation where they go from door to door and check for counterfeit Marvel toys and then they shoot you?
It's not dissimilar, I guess.
Great, we'll get to it. I guess.
Get ready for a new Image property coming to cinemas.
I can't wait.
Expendables 4 begins production. Trailers for both Resident Evil and House of the Dragon. The Joker 2 news.
Yes.
We're going to talk a little bit about DC Fandome, which is coming up next week. We're not going to talk about James Bond this week because we haven't seen it yet. It's not out as of yet, but we do have the biggest and hottest list of all time. Of the 25 top secret agents in movies of all time that we're going to go through and just absolutely ridicule.
To be clear, we did not come up with this list.
No, because the way, I don't know if people know this, but a way that you get around criticism on YouTube or podcasts is you borrow somebody else's list and then they take the heat. And people go,
true.
what were BuzzFeed even thinking with this? And you're like, I know, what were they even thinking?
We don't know.
When really, we could make our own list.
Oh, but come on. We get stuff on.
I'm listening to a podcast and recording a podcast.
Right.
The JRE, Mason. All right, here we go. Via Variety. Disney Plus are apparently working on a WandaVision spin-off that is focusing on Agatha Harkness.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
She's going to be up to mischief.
That's right.
Or good.
Or
Probably
good.
good. Almost certainly good.
Probably good. Probably a bit of mischief and then she'll come good in the end, won't she? I did also get a tweet this week.
It's the tweet of the week.
Tweet
Here
of
we
the
go.
week. Ba-ba-bow.
What is that? Who is that?
It's the alert.
Have you hired a man who's in ill health? Which is not nice and noble of you. And you're like, hey man, you want to come work for us? You got to do an alert. He's like, I don't know if my voice is up to it. And you're
Come
like,
on, buddy.
You can do it. We believe in you. Yeah, that's great actually. Thanks.
Rose Sinanti. I'm not sure if I said that wrong. Now that Agatha's spin-off is in the works, do you think it'll be a prequel or a sequel to WandaVision?
Oh.
I think it'll be both.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be back in the olden days. So the 90s.
Yep.
And then present day.
Yes.
But also probably medieval times or whatever.
The Witch's time, whenever that was.
Yes.
So there you go.
Although how much witching did she do?
We got the flashbacks.
That's true, we did.
Yeah.
But it has been, a number of months and time has no meaning anymore. So I can barely remember anything.
Yeah.
So she was going to be burned at the stake for being a witch. Or she was going to be...
By other witches?
By other witches. The other witches were going to zap her at the stake with lasers. And then she escaped because she was a super powerful witch.
Yeah.
Then she went on to do other witching stuff. She wasn't like in a pocket dimension or a coma or anything like that.
Yeah, she was
right?
doing all sorts of.
Okay, so there's probably a couple of 100 years of witchy stuff to cover. Okay,
We
great.
can get all around that. And off the back of that, this is from Daniel Richmond on Twitter. If you have scoops,
You are having a time with regards pronunciation.
It's rich and then T and then man. Is that Richtman?
I would have said Richtman.
Then there should be no H. Should be no H. H.
What have I said?
I'm having a time, Mason.
You're absolutely having a time.
I'm saying if it's R-I...
What you're doing is you're looking out there. There's a lovely day outside, and then you're looking back at your
No,
screen.
I'm watching.
You're looking outside.
I'm watching the reflection of my television on the window. That's
oh my
what I'm
God,
doing.
What's playing?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need content. Anyway, he also mentioned there are spin-off plans for Xialing. I don't know how to say that because I haven't seen Shang-Chi yet.
Okay,
And
yes.
one of the characters from that,
Okay.
in addition to Monica Rambeau, is also getting a spin-off
so many
potentially.
spin-offs.
Or they're developing it. But that's not the only spin-off news, Mason.
Oh, my goodness.
Because Variety are also reporting, they spoke to head writer of What If, AC Bradley, and director Brian Andrews about their plans for a Chadwick
He's
Boseman.
back on the board. He's got 2 on the board. He's pronounced 2 names correctly.
I mean, Brian Andrews, come on. Like, I know 7 people called Brian Andrews in my real
true.
life. So that's not a
Very
problem.
true.
They said, I don't know if you knew about this, but they were planning to have a Star-Lord T'Challa spin-off into his own show and that universe and the crew and the whole thing. We were very excited. We know that he would have loved it too. And then, he passed. And so all that's in limbo. So who knows, maybe one day. So yeah, that was...
Okay, yeah.
So which makes me think... Also, well, first of all, that sucks. That would have been cool to see. And then imagine if you get like a live-action Black Panther Star-Lord.
Teaming
would
up
have
in their
been
alternate universe to
incredible.
Star-Lord. Yeah, that would be cool.
That's why I'm kind of in two minds about recasting as well.
Yeah.
Just to have that character just disappear entirely. You
Yeah,
know, it's kind of, it's I mean, but I also get it because how do you recast? At this point at least. Anyway. But that also makes me think they're probably focusing on there's going to be other spin-offs. Like they'll pick one of the universes and go, yeah, we'll run with
Yes,
this one for a
exactly,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah. So there
I
you
did. In most like if you had to pick one, it would be like somebody look at the various characters in each of the alternate universes and which of the actors playing those characters haven't already done 9 movies.
Exactly.
Because then they're out probably.
That's
but
right.
People have only done a mere 2, 3, or 4. They'll probably do a spin-off, an alternate reality spin-off thing.
Definitely. This is also from Daniel Richtman, Mason.
Yes.
Um,
He would want you to really just emphasize the T in the
I think
middle.
he
there,
would.
think,
Maybe
yeah.
I'll message him.
Okay,
We do follow each other on Twitter.
Oh.
Echo is, there's an Echo spin-off show in the works as well.
Yes,
We're
from Hawkeye?
We're in spin-off city, Mason.
Mm-hmm. Michael J. Fox is there.
That's right.
Barry Bostwick is there. Richard Kind, was he in that? He was in
Sure.
he was in an episode of Star Trek Lower Decks the other day.
What's he? Who do you play in that?
There's an episode where there's like an alien diplomat, but whenever he gets embarrassed, he splits into
Oh, yeah, that was a great episode.
Yeah.
That's a good show.
I agree.
It's really good. I actually just watched the newest one last night, and it continues to be good. It was the lower decks of they did a lower decks of a Klingon ship.
Oh, yeah.
And a Vulcan ship, and at the end they did a Borg ship where they just they're just like plugged into whatever and not doing anything. Anyway, he says that Echo it's very much like its own show, but it's also like Daredevil season 4 because we're going to see those characters coming back and play big parts in it. The characters will be somewhat soft rebooted into the MCU, but will still have a history with one another. So they'll look somewhat different and with different backgrounds, but still played by the same actors.
This is a big scoop.
That is a big scoop.
So we're talking Charlie Cox. We're
yes,
talking Deborah Ann Wall.
Yes.
We're talking about one of the Bash brothers.
Yes.
Wow. And that's the T, he says, Daniel Richtman.
That's right.
Because that's
wonder
his catchphrase because of the T in the
Yes,
middle.
that's but does that mean Jessica Jones? Does that mean Luke Cage? Does that mean Iron Fist? I don't know. Maybe not, because not everybody likes all of those characters.
Where did he hear this?
I don't know. I don't know his sources. You can't reveal your sources, Mason, and I'll tell you why.
I think he should reveal
because of the
once-
Marvel Police.
I think he should reveal one source a week,
You're right.
just as a goof.
Just as a goof and a gaff and a laugh.
Are we going to talk about the Marvel Police?
Let's do
Whatever
it
that
now. This is on the Fat Man Beyond podcast, which
Okay.
you will know as Kevin Smith's podcast.
I do.
About pop culture and such.
I'm listening to it right now.
Oh, how is it?
Right.
Good. I don't know if you're up to this bit yet.
He's
but
very enthused
he's-
about all kinds of stuff.
I like his He-Man. Did you see there's a new He-Man show again? It's like a CG animated He-Man show.
No, I don't think I saw that. No.
Yeah,
But it's
so-
Netflix again?
It's Netflix again.
Okay, great.
Why not? He-Men. That's what I say.
Yeah.
There is a Marvel.
You've never said He-Man before.
I always say He-Man. I've got a He-Man tattoo.
What's happening on the He-Man?
The Kissing Mason.
Okay, great.
2 different incarnations of He-Man.
Wow.
The kissing.
Wow.
There is a Marvel secret police who, when things are being discovered, not only sweat down the departments.
What do you mean things are being discovered?
Like, things are leaked. Like
Oh,
a
I see,
Daniel
right.
Richtman, for example.
Yeah.
So when leaks happen, not only do the Marvel secret police sweat the departments to find out where the leak sprang from, they also deal in subterfuge.
Oh, so they might be like, we're releasing
A big fart.
I mean, potentially,
We're doing a big fart spin-off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Richtman's like, big farts going to the big screen, everybody.
That's right.
Yeah, and then it turns out to be a lie, and then Richtman.
Unless the people
burned at the
call
stake.
for it. And then the people like, get
Oh,
behind
that's true. Yeah.
big fart. And then
Are you saying that's part of their deal?
well, you stopped me as I was
That's what
about
do.
That's
That's my
to say
whole
the thing. So,
I'm building tension though for the listeners.
like a big fart would build.
Yes.
Okay. We know this is in as much.
That's his catchphrase.
That wasn't me having a go at you. That was just me being like, "Hey, I'm doing it already." You're like, "Come on, explain yourself," and I'm like, "I am explaining myself."
James, if you stopped constantly explaining yourself, we'd get to the tea. All right, you'd be spilling the tea right now.
We know this.
It'd be totally poggers.
All right.
Which young people have informed me means good or something.
Is that based on Pogs or is that a
I
different?
think it is based on pogs.
That
yes.
cannot be true.
I'm going to look it up.
All right. While you're doing that, you can.
No, total silence while I look this up. No, continue, please.
We know this in as much as you'll go to auditions and read lines that have nothing to do with what you're auditioning for. They're well practiced at the art of, look over here, they like to keep their secrets over there. So it's basically like they'll distract people with, I guess, false leaks and scripts and whatever. So they leave leftover call sheets where they draw allusions to characters that they're well known that don't exist. So they lay little traps in the call sheet to see if it gets passed on, and then they try to find the leaks. Thusly, that's some Watergate level shit, man.
Yeah, right. Feels
Kevin Smith,
JRE.
He's always JRE.
Where that's I feel that's entrapment.
Yeah, but it's not an uncommon tactic, though, is it?
I guess that's probably true.
I don't think normally it's more in espionage than.
This is like those, those fake street maps that have fake streets on them.
Oh, what? No.
So like, I don't think it's as common these days. In a map of a city or something like that. What'll happen is if you put in all the work to make a street map and then you're selling it to people, whatever, somebody might be like, I'll make my own street map and I can sell that and I'll be rich. So they just copy what you've done. So what you do is you put in a trap street. So like if there's a street that's like if it's a straight street, you would draw it having a lot of curves because that wouldn't affect people.
So the street exists, but not the
sometimes
yeah.
and sometimes there's fake streets.
Wow.
Yeah. So then you can be like, I tricked you.
Map trapped you.
So this is a call sheet trap.
You've been map trapped.
Yeah, that's
Motherfucker. You're under arrest.
That's right. We're the map police.
There was a remember Claire said at her university there was at the library because she went to the university in the city. And
the University of in the city.
Yeah, and there was a room in the library.
Well, I went to the University of in the country.
Really?
That's why I've got country wisdom.
I went to the University of Life. What do you think of that?
I went to
also an actual university.
I went to School of Hard Knocks.
Oh, well, I went to a mid-tier university for business school. What do you think of that?
Didn't we go to the same one?
We did
the same one. Okay,
for a time, yes. And then something
School of Hard
happened.
Knocks.
Yeah, anyway, there was
We fought once.
we did. So anyway, there was a map room in the library, and it was always free because
who's looking at the
cardiologists?
Cardiologists were always in there. They're like, this man's having a heart attack, but I can't find the operating theatre. So I'm in here in cartography.
Cartography, thank you. And but no one was ever allowed to use it. And there was a dude who ran the room. Okay, it was like you can only use this if you're using maps.
Doing map stuff.
So it was literally never used because that's not really a.
People should have built their own entirely fake map and be like, I'm working on this map.
Oh yeah.
But instead, arguing
you
on
just
forums.
beat him up.
You just beat him up. You get in there and you roll up the map and then you do the thing where you bend it in half and you crack him over the head with it.
Anyway, I'm not really surprised that they have a secret police force. I mean, I don't think it's police. I'm sure it's just like a small department of whatever.
I bet it's closer to police than
you think there's a uniform?
I reckon they're more like FBI agents.
Oh, okay. Like undercover or like suits?
Ear suits. I
with
reckon
badges,
suits.
flip down badges.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
You flip it over and it's like got like a steel embossed Stanley on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You can punch people with it.
Yes.
Brand them with Stan Lee's face.
That's right. They've got two. It's like the Phantom.
Yes.
They've got Stan Lee rings.
Yep.
And one, if they steal the call sheet, you punch him with Stanley and he's frowning. But if
Yep.
they're a friend, you punch him
Yep.
with Stanley and it says Excelsior on your face.
You're free to go.
Yeah, you're free to go. Yeah, and then you're a friend to the Marvel police.
James Gunn mentioned on Twitter that he said,
Oh wait, One Ring is Kathleen Kennedy.
Sure. Oh, bush, yeah, she would, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
In my incredibly subjective and admittedly often odd opinion, we'll be introducing one of the greatest MCU characters of all time.
Oh, yeah.
This is for the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. Do you think this is like a Sentry, a Nova, or something like that, or do you think it's like someone dumb,
I think
or somewhere in the middle that he likes?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think he would introduce a character that would be very significant plot-wise going forward.
Okay.
I think they might be. I don't think they'd use like the Sentry because they're like maybe we want to use him because he's he's like a big-time Superman-esque character. I reckon it might be because it's James Gunn and he's like a trauma guy and a gross guy. I reckon it might be like Man-Thing.
Oh, okay.
Or like
What about Werewolf by Night? Because that is
Werewolf by- yeah,
that
okay.
is rumored to be coming.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah.
That could work.
But that's actually, I think Werewolf by Night might be coming before
Ah.
then. Maybe it could be a different kind of werewolf.
Sure.
You know? I don't know. I don't think he'd be that impressed by werewolves, to be honest.
No, I reckon it's something gross.
Like, because he was like, oh my God, I love like Starro and introducing Starro and making like
Yes,
a big real
exactly,
thing.
yeah.
So you're thinking it's more like,
Yeah, I mean the thing is though, like Marvel and the way that Marvel and DC differ, I guess, is that Marvel, really
colours. They've got
Colours.
colours in their logos.
That's right.
Yeah.
And sort of Marvel came to real prominence in the 60s, so they kind of missed the 1950s real weird stuff.
Okay, sure.
So DC has like a way bigger back catalogue of weird stuff, I think.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm just looking if there's any Google image results for like what people think this might be.
Okay.
And there's not really anything. There's like Santa.
Yeah, maybe it's Santa.
Maybe it is Santa.
Maybe it's Santa.
Do you think it could be Santa?
Rephrase. Tell me the phrasing again. What did he say?
He said, I'm bringing Santa to the Marvel Universe.
Oh.
Santa. It's Santa.
Claus. It's real Santa
The secret
Claus.
is Santa. No, in my incredibly subjective and admittedly often odd opinion, we'll be introducing one of the greatest MCU characters of all time.
Okay, so it can't have been used before.
No,
Oh, yeah.
but it has to be a little bit gross or silly.
I think so. For James Gunn.
Yeah.
Google grossest Marvel characters. See what
So
comes
I've
up.
got a list here.
Okay.
Who's the gold guy?
Oh, Adam Warlock.
Adam
I wanted
Warlock.
that as well, maybe.
There's
but
a picture here of like literally Santa, Adam Warlock.
I can see Adam Warlock being.
Nova,
I can see Adam
and
Warlock
Silver
being
Surfer.
brought in as like a. Clearly, Marvel didn't bite on Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
At the end, was it Guardians 2?
Yeah.
Clearly, they didn't go, oh, well, we need him for Endgame or whatever.
Yeah.
So maybe that is a dead end. So maybe they do bring him back as like a Santa-esque character, like a joke character.
I think if we see Adam Warlock, we'll probably see him in Guardians 3.
Yeah.
Maybe this, but I think he is planning on using Adam Warlock.
Yeah, right.
I think. He also Nova and also Silver Surfer.
Okay.
What if Silver Surfer's like, I don't have Christmas on my destroyed homeworld, and they're like, well, maybe you can have Christmas with the Guardians or whatever, and he's like, okay.
He's like, oh, woe is me.
Jesus, this
The planet Zenlar, he would say.
fucking guy.
Right? And they're like, oh, Christmas sucks now. Silver Surfer's here. Norrin rad, more like Norrin not rad at all.
Got him.
Not more like not poggers, they'd say.
That's what
okay,
they'd
I looked
say.
it up.
Okay.
Poggers is a Twitch emote typically used to express enthusiasm, enthrallment, or other sophisticated emotions of happiness and dopamine.
Sophisticated.
That's from Urban Dictionary. And there's like a frog. It's like a frog emoji.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe it doesn't have anything to do with pogs.
Wow. What
Yeah.
a world. It's always good when you're learning new things at an age where you shouldn't have to.
It's very true, right?
I don't want to learn anything, Mason. Didn't we learn enough?
Yeah, I think we've learned
Isn't there
enough.
enough learning happening already?
We went to as established, we went to the School of Hard Knocks. We went to the University of Life.
Yep.
Um,
Claire went to that school, the University of the City.
yeah, exactly. I'm a country mouse or something. We've done enough. We've got enough wisdom to live out the rest of our days, all right? We don't need nothing else. But Man-Thing would be good.
Sure. I'm going to go with
What's he doing in
Santa.
space, though, I wonder?
I'm going with Santa.
Okay.
Okay. THR reporting that Jake Gyllenhaal.
May I ask, just before we go to Jake Gyllenhaal?
Sure. We're going to cut to Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake, can you hear us? I don't bathe or something. Was that him? I don't know.
I'm at the desk because we remade that Icelandic movie or whatever where I'm a dispatcher.
Oh, yeah, do you watch that?
I'm here. No, I haven't watched it yet. No.
I would have watched it if I hadn't already watched the other one.
There we go.
I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, go on.
If it's Santa, is he alien Santa or is he robot Santa or is he magic Santa?
Magic Santa.
Okay.
Magic Santa.
Okay.
What do you think? Why can't Santa exist in the Marvel
That's a
universe?
great question.
Yeah. Anyway, THR reporting that Jake Gyllenhaal is set to star in Studio 8's upcoming comic book adaptation, Prophet.
Prophet?
Prophet.
Okay.
With Sam Hargrave, who directed Extraction. Now, you might be like, who is Prophet?
I can't remember who Prophet is.
I'm going to tell you exactly. You're going to love this.
Wait. No. Oh, God.
I'll give you a clue.
I was thinking the guy that killed Spawn, but that wasn't Prophet. He was priest or was bishop or something like that.
That was Wallace and Gromit.
It was both Wallace and Gromit as a team.
Yeah. Stuck a bit of porridge machine. I don't know. Whatever they do. Anyway, here you go. Jake Gyllenhaal will star as John Prophet. Does that help?
Yes. I reckon he's is he a special forces guy maybe? Does he work in an ops center of some kind?
Probably does at some point. I didn't know, so I would have just
Does he have big shoulder pads? I'm going to look him up.
Yeah, he looks ridiculous. Based on Rob Liefeld's comic book published by Image Comics, John Prophet volunteers for a German experiment near the end of World War II.
German experiments.
Yeah, in order to feed his family. After a bombing buries him alive and traps him underground for 20 years,
oh my God.
He awakens in 1965, where things are not great for John Prophet. The world has moved on without John Prophet. His daughter, little John Prophet, resents him, and KGB agents are after John Prophet to create super soldiers from the blood of John Prophet.
How many times have you re-added the name John Prophet in there?
I took some out.
Oh, yeah, okay, sure.
It was mostly John Prophet.
Wow.
So do you like his purple costume?
I love it. So this is like the second Google image search. It is classic Rob Liefeld 90s.
Yeah.
Of this character. He's got a cape, which is a little bit unusual, but he's got two swords. He's got like one of those thigh belts. Mm-hmm. You can't see his feet. His feet is covered in rubble because, as we've mentioned, you can't.
This is when he's coming out of the rubble. The bombing
I guess it must be.
That put John Prophet in rubble.
Yeah. He's got big shoulders. He's got like unnecessary, like just extra technical bits. There looks to be, and I've never read anything to do with Prophet, but there looks to be like a newer Prophet. Like, and he's just a guy in like what looks like a Russian spacesuit or something.
Is that the same character?
Well, it's Image.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
So
his haircut is way toned down, isn't it?
Yeah. He just looks like an astronaut of some sort. I reckon that's probably the version they're going with.
Yeah.
Unless Gyllenhaal's like, I am addicted to wearing stupid outfits with shoulder pads and capes now.
Maybe he
after
is.
Mysterio, I've got to do it again.
He might just be. I mean, look, I think also if you put aside the fact that this is a dumb character that probably everybody forgot about, there is a history of people taking Rob Liefeld ideas and then making them better, which is what Deadpool is essentially.
That's true, yeah. And for people who don't know, he used to write a series of comics called Supreme, which is about a guy who's basically Superman.
Yep.
And then he asked Alan Moore, famous comic writer of Watchmen and etc., would you like to do a run on this? And he said, I'll do it, but I will throw out everything about this character besides the name.
Yep.
And I will start again. And that's a really good run. So he was engineered to serve the evil Philip Omen. Right? Programmed with murderous instincts.
Philip Omen. So it's a bit Captain America, a bit Winter Soldier.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I know this is pre-Winter Soldier, right?
He was, it would have been. He was created in 92.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
I guess this is the goodest time to any to mention that this week on Big Sandwich, we are doing the Book Club.
That's right.
And we talk about the comic Absolute Carnage, which is a newer Carnage Venom Spider-Man comic. But in the lead up to that, you do a really interesting run through. I was enthralled about kind of the history of Image Comics and or like the extreme characters from the 90s that led to the creation of like the Symbiote Wars.
And by that, I mean I named a bunch of them.
You named so many things. So that's linked below. People don't want to check it out. It's $9 a month. There's a huge back catalogue of movie commentaries and whatever. There's also Daredevil commentary we did recently. Anyway, John Prophet. I think there's enough things going on here for this that it could be good. Jen.
It does feel very Winter Soldier-y. Like he gets taken out of stasis in World War II. Put in stasis after World War II, and then he gets taken out of stasis in Vietnam.
I wonder if he was the basis of the Winter Soldier for real.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Despite his enhanced DNA and ability to communicate in all languages, Prophet was described as very childlike by Platt. I don't know who Platt is. He doesn't know the social workings of the world that most of us take for granted. He can't hail a cab, and he eats ice cream too fast and gets a headache.
Great.
This feels like a woman in a rom-com who can't get anything right. I'm working in the big city, but I've dropped my briefcase and everything's flown out and I've got an ice cream headache.
You're not going to believe this, but I'm unlucky in love and I met this very rude, handsome man. Oh, this has just really put a crinkle in my already bad day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I stepped in the mud. Man.
In
other media. In 1995, TriStar Pictures acquired the film rights to Prophet. A live-action film was planned with Rob Liefeld as a producer, but the project did not proceed beyond pre-production.
That would have been absolute dog shit.
Oh, yeah. And he would have looked like the purple suit with the cape.
I mean, that part I would have liked.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It'd be fun to look back on it now.
Yeah, definitely.
Would that have been... when did Spawn... Spawn came out in 98,
97,
right?
I think.
Something like
Let me
that.
check.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have fit right in. Imagine if we had like an unrelated
97,
image.
yeah.
Unrelated image comics cinematic universe at this point. Just big capes and chains and thigh belts and...
I think it's now's as good a time as any.
Yeah.
So, Spawn is coming back with Jamie Foxx, right?
Yes.
And I think Todd McFarlane's directing it,
Oh.
as far as I'm aware.
Has he directed anything?
Yeah, he directed we do this every time. He directed a Corn video.
Okay, of course.
We've done this this bit.
Yeah. It's a bit we're doing.
And by bit,
yes.
I mean we Google a thing and then go, oh, yeah, we already did this.
Okay, great.
All right, can we move on from Prophet?
Yes, we can.
Great. Here we go.
Oh, this is even more Prophet-y, though. This is even more 90s.
Doesn't even look like the same person.
Doesn't even look like Prophet, but he doesn't have the cape, but he does have the weird head mask situation.
Hang on a sec.
And he's got so many guns.
Ollie, stop backing! Stop backing so much!
How does Gyllenhaal...
Jake Gyllenhaal,
Why does he want to be Prophet? Well, not Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Money. And he
Yeah,
can be
I mean, I guess.
He can be an action man.
Yeah, I guess that's
He can be an
probably
action
true.
man.
Yeah,
He was in an interview this week and he's like, I had to pretend to have sex with Jennifer Aniston in 2002 and I kept getting a boner or whatever. Did you see that?
I did say that, yes.
Yeah.
Did he say I kept getting a boner or
I kept
whatever?
getting a boner or whatever happens.
Whatever happened? I don't understand. I've never looked down. I don't know how it works.
Anyway, I like him.
Yeah, I like him too.
And unless he gets cancelled, in which case I don't like him.
And we never liked him. We never liked him.
Sometimes we'll be like, we like this person and then a thing happens and then we have to go back and be like, actually, we don't like that.
Yeah.
But I think if something terrible happens, just assume that our position has shifted somewhat.
We've already disavowed him, yeah. And as previously mentioned, we never liked him. So,
Expendables 4 has begun production.
yes.
There's one photo of Statham and Stallone together.
Which you saw and thought, is this an old photo?
Is this an old photo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's a new photo. Now, I couldn't remember whether he had his little goatee.
Who are we talking about? Stallone?
Yeah. Do you remember?
No. How would I know?
Let me check the cast because I think I remember, like, a lot of the people aren't coming back. And there was also imagery
But
of...
everybody's coming back with a goatee.
Actually, no, there's some... Like, Dolph Lundgren is back.
Mm-hmm.
Randy Couture is back. Tony Jaa is back. Anthony Banderas. Antonio
That's
Banderas.
what we call him Tony Banderas. Hey, Tony B.
Tony B, what are you doing? And also Megan Fox is joining the cast as well.
She's got a goatee.
She's got a Megan Fox goatee. You know what I did watch the other day?
What's that?
Jennifer's Body.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
sure,
like
sure, sure.
now like a cult horror
any
movie.
good? I don't think I've ever
It's pretty
seen it.
fun. Yeah, it's
Okay,
like a
great.
silly kind of horror movie. That's far from terrible. Because at the time it was like much maligned, but watching it, it's like, no, this definitely has some like a charm to it.
And we always thought that.
No, not me.
Okay.
I'd never seen it, so I didn't have an opinion on it. Anyway, are you excitable? Are you excitable for
I'm very excitable
Expendables-
generally.
for Expendables 4? And does he
Can
have
that be their tagline now?
does he have the little goatee or not, Mason?
I don't know.
Let me check.
For a while, that was the epitome of cool, but maybe it's not the epitome of cool anymore.
Was it though?
I don't know.
There we go. All Stallone. That's what I'm looking at.
I saw a trailer for something this week.
Oh wow, good for
It
you.
was a Josh Duhamel movie.
He's got some scruff, but
Okay, right,
anyway,
right.
Josh Duhamel, yeah.
It was a movie like Tag. It's like there's these buddies, there's
buddy games.
buddy games. There we go.
Yeah.
It's like there are these buddies, and they've always been doing buddy games. But and there didn't appear to be a plot of any kind in there.
Yeah, it's basically like Olympics for but it's like
Yeah,
very
but
particular.
at least Tag, you go, okay, there's one guy who's never been tagged, and the plot is, do we tag the guy at his wedding or whatever it is? This was just a series of completely unconnected scenes, but just dudes shooting each other with arrows or whatever. And I'm like, that's fine, but at least tell me what's going to happen.
Apparently, it's not good.
Okay.
But then again, maybe it's like Megan Fox's Jennifer's Body. It's got 16% on Rotten Tomatoes. But don't listen to Rotten Tomatoes. Make up your own opinion. Waste your time with this obviously terrible movie. What the fuck do I care? Anyway.
Are you talking just to me? Or
I don't know. I wasn't talking to you in particular, but you know what? If you think I am, all right?
Whoa. Never felt so seen.
Trailers ahoy, Mason.
We should get that guy to do it.
Oh, yeah. I shouldn't have got this guy in.
It's too
We
late
should have got
now.
a healthier man.
It's too late. He's in the
I think he's got the Rona.
He's in
for
the
real.
He's in the room and we paid him $100,000.
Did we?
Yeah.
Out of my money or your money?
Not out of your money. You just said spend what you needed. And I'm like, all right. I said, do you want $100,000? And he's like, sure.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, what he said was like,
it's ridiculous because you went to the chip shop and I said, can you just get me a Coke?
Yeah.
And you were like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, just spend whatever. I'll pay you back. And then you bought back this man for $100,000, which is not what I asked for.
Yeah, but he bought the Coke, so it's free. So it's actually a good deal. Anyway, let's let him do his thing.
I don't like him. I don't like him, Mason. I'm double vaxxed, but I'm still uncomfortable with him being here.
Me too.
It's not 100%, Mason. You know that.
I do know that.
Anyway, trailers ahoy. Let's do House of the Dragon first.
Okay.
Game of Thrones spin-off. Look, nobody was really on board with Game of Thrones by the end. I shouldn't say nobody. I'm sure somebody was. But, there's been enough time and I was like exhausted and I'm like, I don't want a prequel. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I don't want to think about Game of Thrones. It monopolized too much of our lives for too long.
It really
and
did.
quite frankly, the Twitter conversation.
The discourse.
I'm sick of it. And then I saw this and I went, oh, yeah, all right.
Give it another go. Give it another crack.
Yeah.
Everybody's got that white hair that we like.
Do you think we're going to be seeing many of dragons?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
So there you go. Now, the problem with prequels are,
You know where everything's going to end.
yeah, but I guess this being 200 years in the past,
Yeah.
there's a bit of room there. Wiggle room. I don't have anything else to say other than looks like they put some money into it.
Sure
Did
did,
you see
yeah.
also they renewed Foundation?
Oh, for season 2.
I've heard it's not great.
Haven't seen it yet, so I couldn't say.
Yeah, me neither. I'll get around to it at some point.
Yeah.
So I think they had to renew it because they're just like, we spent $100 million on this. So we're doubling down. But you know what? The best time, Mason, to get out of any investment, it's the sunk cost fallacy.
Sure is.
That's the thing I'm saying.
We both went to university. We're aware.
Different universities, different skills, obviously.
Yes.
Except for that time we did go to the same university
Yes,
for
yes,
a time.
yes.
But
School of Hard Knocks.
yes, but yeah, it's just you just get out. If it's like if you can't dig yourself out of it.
I reckon maybe they should have quit before they spent the first $100 million.
Really, that's interesting.
No, I don't know.
That's interesting.
I mean, it's not my money.
I don't give a
And
shit.
I'm watching it for free, so.
Yeah, and it could get better as well. And also
true.
I haven't seen it, so
Yeah.
maybe it's amazing.
Also, the book, at least the first one or two that I have read, it's a lot of talking. So if they've brought it, unless it's just them in a room talking,
Well, apparently
they've done more.
It's pretty different
Okay.
from the books. And I also saw some comments about like they should have done the prequels because that's more kind of an epic kind of build up and whatever, and then led up to whatever. And I'm like, maybe I don't know. I don't have to read any of this. Anyway, the other trailer we got was Resident Evil. Fine, we'll just do the games. Are you happy?
Yeah.
We're just going to forget Alice, forget
I mean, we'll kick some
Wentworth
dogs.
Miller.
We'll kick some dogs,
Kick some-
obviously. You can't have a Resident Evil franchise without us kicking dogs.
someone
That's-
kicking a dog in the side of the head.
We will not bend on kicking or shooting a dog.
Yeah. And you're going to have to deal with that. That's the Resident Evil universe.
It's the Resident Evil promise.
So this is everything
They
from...
guarantee.
That's right. Is there one set in a swamp? Sort of four.
I mean, maybe there's probably a mutant crocodile. So
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. I've done that before. So it's just all the things that you remember from the early games, in particular the first one. There's the mansion. There's the Raccoon City. There's that truck crash. Do you remember the truck crash from one
Yeah.
of the games? Is 2 set at the same time as 1?
There is definitely two games that are set at the same time,
But they might
and you
be
play from
spin-offs.
different perspectives.
Yeah,
but I don't know which is which. Maybe it's 2 and 3.
yeah. You know what's interesting about Resident Evil 4, which they're apparently remaking?
Okay.
You can play through the whole game, and then you can play through it again with the Ada Wong character, and it gives you just a different story. Like, you do the same levels.
Okay.
But you're following Leon Kennedy, and you just do
Which one's canon then?
both. They're the same.
Oh, I see.
Because then you hit the same cutscenes of like when you cross over.
Oh, I see what
paths
you're
or
saying. Okay,
whatever.
right.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's good.
I used to
I
play
like
that game a lot. And then I played it again when they released it on Switch. And then I'm going to play it again when they remake it and
Great.
it comes out. And then I'm going to stop playing it, I think, after that, I reckon. Oh, and there's also a VR version, but I'm probably not going to play that one.
Okay, great.
Fucking good game, though. Just remember, like, constantly being surprised how much that, like, shifts. If you can get past the tank controls and you can't move and shoot at the same time, you can have an absolute delightful time experience.
Well, let me tell you in advance, I cannot get past the tank controls.
Okay.
I'm not
Did
a
you
fan.
play 5 then? They're a little less tanky.
I think we played 5.
Oh, we did for a bit. We fought that big bat together.
Yeah.
And then we played the video game.
Yes!
You were ready to go. I can see you. You were gearing up for that.
Yeah.
You seem like you're proud of me, though.
Yeah, you did really well there. That was good. That was good. We went to the University of Life together.
Where we fought that
game.
big bat.
We fought the big bat.
Anyway, this is via the playlist. Joaquin Phoenix was asked about the Joker too.
Yeah.
And he said, I mean, I don't know. From when we started shooting, we started to, this is an interesting guy. There are some things we could do with this guy and could explore further. But as to whether we actually will, I don't know.
Great stuff.
I think they would definitely do it. If he wants to do it, if they can get him to do it,
Yeah.
they'd probably already have started filming this.
That's
know?
true, yeah. Mhm.
So I think I'd made $1 billion. It was like, for me, it was like my anthem. It spoke to me directly
Sure, yeah.
as a man.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Everything that I am was reflected in this movie.
I remember we watched it and you stood up the entire time. You had your hand on your heart.
That's right. Just drinking it all in.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
You said afterwards your land was girt by Joker.
That's what I
you
said.
yeah.
For those who don't know,
It's just a thing
just
you
a
say.
thing that you say in Australia sometimes for some reason. It's a fucking country. Anyway.
Yeah. Do you think that people would completely lose interest if they couldn't get Joaquin Phoenix? They got a different guy to Joker it.
I don't think it would be a complete lack of interest. I think, if, for example, if you did get like a Jake Gyllenhaal or somebody of that caliber,
Yes.
but you wouldn't want to do like, for lack of a better example, seeing as Mason just watched The Mask before we started recording this, you wouldn't want to do Jim Carrey to Jamie Kennedy, that kind of leap.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
What I'm saying is they should get Jim Carrey or Jamie Kennedy for Joker 2.
Yes.
Second Joker. You could always do like a bet. You could set it in the world, have a small Joaquin Phoenix cameo, and have another Joker.
That's true. Who's been inspired by the previous Joker, yeah. Mhm.
And it's just each one. It's like the Crow. Everyone just.
It's
takes
like they
that.
haven't done. It's not like they haven't done multiple Jokers before. They did
Yeah.
it in the comics. They did it in Gotham.
Yep.
They could do it in this.
Sometimes Batman will look at his computer and his computer will say 3 Jokers, and Batman will be like, "How is that possible that there are 3 Jokers?"
I'm the world's greatest detective. How did I not remember that I installed this 3 Joker screensaver? What's going on? No, he's just Toasters. Never mind. Remember Toasters as a screensaver?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
God, I just like the one with the space, to be honest, flying through space. I think that was my favorite screensaver. Anyway,
Mine was the Matrix screensaver.
now did it go to black and then the text started dropping, or did the text started dropping before?
Went to black.
Get fucked.
I mean, the
with that.
version that I had did that. Maybe
There should be a better version. If there is one, please let us know. But I'd like one where like the screen starts to warp into the Matrix.
Okay,
whatever.
right. I don't think the technology was available back then.
Then
for that.
don't do it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Just don't do it.
Wow.
Fuck.
Are you saying you would rather live in a world where there was never a Matrix code screensaver?
Yes, Mason.
Wow.
Do it properly or stay in bed. Here's something. Last bit of news.
That's your family motto, I think.
Yes, that's right. DC Fandome has a trailer for next week.
Yeah.
It teases and confirms a couple of things. For one, we are getting The Batman trailer. There were hints at Shazam, Black Adam. Did you see the Hawkman silver helmet?
Yes.
There's the Flash stuff, both televisual and movie.
And there was many stars of the many DC upcoming TV shows and movies
yeah.
promoting this, many of whom had different levels of enthusiasm for what they were asked to do.
Okay, I'm going to do something now.
Pattinson, not so much, if I had to guess.
Here's something I want to do right now.
Okay.
I wasn't going to do it.
Yes.
I wasn't planning to do it, but I got an email from DC Fandome in particular, right? And I didn't consult you on this. I just
Okay.
shot down the idea.
Uh-oh.
So let's just see how we go. Hang on, let's bring it up.
Do you want to have a sickly man in the room? You'll have to pay him $100,000.
Okay, so the idea was Warner Brothers would love to I'm just going to go through this.
All right.
Warner Brothers would love to partner with you on your YouTube channel for the DC Fandome campaign this year.
Okay.
Here's a quick snapshot of the campaign.
Okay.
Social posting window, so I got to do a number of social posts leading up,
Okay.
including 2 in-feed posts or channel previews, 3 Instagram stories, as in 2 frames or more, 6 frames in total.
Let me stop you there. I'm already exhausted. I'm glad you turned this down.
This isn't it.
I figured it wouldn't be. I knew it wouldn't be, but continue. All right.
Amplification of the DC Fandome Twitter posts with retweets or on key announcements begins October 4th. And most importantly of all, a 3-hour consecutive live stream of DC Fandome Watch Party.
Wow.
Which we could have done together. Now, I turned this down.
Mm-hmm.
For one, it was a substantial amount of money, but I'm like, this isn't enough money.
Okay.
And I've got my kids at home because of homeschooling. And even though it is a weekend, it's just, I've never live streamed. And I'm just like, I'd have to figure it all out.
It's true.
And I'm reposting Fandome tweets and whatever.
And the first 20 minutes, we wouldn't have done the mics properly.
Yeah.
We would have been silent.
And
there'd be a lot of us laughing at each other's jokes, then a lot of comments underneath being like, we can't hear you.
Yeah. And the other thing is, like, I love DC Fandome. Like, genuine, I think it's great, but I still, like, don't want to do this. Anyway, there's more. Announcement post. These are the creative directions. This post is meant to inform your audience of your participation in the live streaming of DC Fandome. Get creative on how you announce your partnership with a cosplay/makeup transformation.
Whoa.
Into your favorite DC character. Show off your massive Superman collection. I don't have that. Transform your car into the Batmobile. No. What are you talking about?
What? No.
Set up your living room into the ultimate DC Fandome watch party environment. Remember that the goal is to get your viewers excited to participate in DC Fandome and encourage them to register at dcfandome.com and tune in for the watch party, your watch party. Why would you watch me when you could watch the real thing?
Would we have to do picture in picture?
Yeah, like you watch me talk over. Is that what you want, the Batman trailer? Do you want me to interrupt Kevin Smith to talk about the Batman trailer? Anyway, themed pre-party. Please feature any DC. Do you want me to do this?
No, continue.
Please.
This madness goes deep. This is too much. Oftentimes people are like, these bloody influencers, they don't do any bloody work, do they? They just go on they're on the Twitch or they're on the whatever. This is a lot.
This is an unusual amount of things,
Yeah,
though, normally. And often when I get something this complicated, I'm like, absolutely not. Never. Please feature any DC-themed environments, backgrounds. Don't have that.
Don't have that, no.
Dress in a cosplay. Don't have that. Wear a DC-branded merch to your watch party. I don't have that. I know I've got a Superman t-shirt, I think, somewhere that I sometimes sleep in, but nobody wants to see that.
It's got holes in it. It's got baby sick on it.
Get your viewers excited about the experience you're about to explore together. Example, what are you most excited about? Or, who dressed up as Wonder Woman today? Tweet me a pic and tag hashtag DC Fandome.
Great. That's
Live stream starts 10 a.m. PT. Influencers will co-stream the live feed from Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube. Viewers will share their real-time reactions via chat hosted on the influencers stream. Influencers will be armed with relevant talking points / call-outs to further drive engagement. For example, we just got to see a BTS look at Batman. How cool.
BTS is in the Batman?
No, Mason. As in
Breaking
behind
the Silence Korean pop band? I think that's what it stands
That's
for.
what it means.
I'm not sure.
We just got to see a BTS behind the scenes. Look at Batman. How cool. Go post your reaction and tag me at DC Fandome so I can see it.
I would love to watch all of these just to know. I would just love to watch the Batman trailer reveal segment just to see how many influencers go, that was so cool.
Hashtag me in your favorite Wonder Woman costume at DC. Exclusivity, you'll be restricted from posting any other paid promotion during. No third-party brand.
We want to promote, Manscaped.
That's
during,
right. Yeah.
During this.
Third-party branding, you will be responsible for your own wardrobe. Outrageous. Also, they don't want that. Your wardrobe shall not include any recognizable logos, brand names, trademarks, images, except if they're approved
So
by
you're
Warner
saying
Brothers.
they're not going to send us any Joaquin Phoenix Joker big underpants that we could wear? We're going to supply our own big underpants? This is an outrage.
They also Warner must review, and the company, I won't name the company, must review all the content outlines before it's published. All your content must be disclosed in the social media guidelines, something You do not monetize your live stream or receive donations. Do not use music in the content of live streams other than music than within DC Fandome.
Or Gary Glitter.
Or Gary, yes, that's right. Use unapproved imagery, stills, etc. Do not wear or show in the background third-party logos, and etc. So that's essentially it. And I just looked at that and went, wow.
Just that, James?
Just that.
That's all, is it? Easy peasy. If we gathered up like all our DC memorabilia, we'd have
would
like
look
2
terrible.
T-shirts.
It would look bad.
And I don't think I even have
don't
like
know.
a Batman action figure or anything.
My son does, actually. I
Oh,
could
okay,
get that.
so we'll...
Yeah. I need to borrow this.
Yeah, so it's just both of us on a couch and there's a single Batman figurine behind us.
Well, anyway, I did have one idea, and I was never going to do it, but my idea was that the background is that weird empty void they used the last year. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
look, we're in the empty void from DC Fandome 2020.
Oh,
We hate it in here. But
Yeah.
I feel like they wouldn't let me do
they
that.
wouldn't like that. No.
So anyway, that's... Often you'll get something like that, but from something you hate. It's
Yeah,
like...
right.
League of Legends or whatever, and you have to do this. And I'm like, all of this is a contingent that you think I would want anything to do with this absolute fucking dreck you have sent over. To its credit, like, I am excited for DC Fandome.
Yeah.
We are going to be covering it like extensively next week. There's going to be like multiple trailer breakdowns and whatever. And I'm pretty sure also I can make more money doing that than this, if I'm honest.
We should have done like a makeup live stream, and then it's done. We get some professionals in, and then when it's finished, it's like, we're Jimmy Olsen. We're the 2 Jimmy Olsens from Lois and Clark, the New Adventures of Superman, where it was just 2 guys.
Oh, my other idea was that we both dress as Burt Ward Robin
That's really good. That's good.
in the DC 2020
Yeah.
void.
Nice.
So we're both like, neither of us are Batman.
Yeah, that's
We're
good.
both 1960s Robin.
That's nice.
But then, like, I need it in a week. Like, I
Where
can't.
we can't get-
what am I going to do? I can't do any of this.
No.
Turn my car into the Batmobile.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
You know when Batman built the sensible SUV, you know? It's got to put the Bat family in it.
Anyway, but I said, like, I appreciate you thinking of me because I do, but I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah,
I just not able to.
And they said, we'll give you $10,000 if you just read out
It
what we
wasn't
sent you.
$10,000.
No, but they're just like, we'll give you $10,000 if you just read out the thing we sent you and make fun of it on live on a podcast. That'll
yeah,
do.
no
We'll
problem.
take it. That counts as promotion. We'll take it. We'll give you more money. Just let us give you money.
I think also we are already doing more promotion for it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's free,
Like,
essentially,
For free
yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, whatever. Anyway, James Bond is out this
But we shall not dress up for it.
No, unless we're both Robin, which
Unless
I
both
think
Robin.
is a solid idea.
That's a funny bit, yeah.
Anyway, or we could be on that.
Just a bearded Robin.
What if we're both Robin and it's on that when they're running down the street and that's the
Just
background?
constantly.
Yeah.
Or the you know
Up
when
the
they're
wall.
hanging on the wall, yeah. And there's just like a Vincent Price coming out the window being like, ooh.
Anyway, James Bond is out the world over now.
Yep.
We haven't seen
Not
it.
here though.
No.
It's coming out maybe October, end of
I think
October
November
or something.
11th or
November,
something?
like that.
Can't
Yeah.
remember. Hopefully, we'll be out of lockdown in a couple of weeks. That's the plan, but who knows?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So what we've done, we've found this listicle at Den of Geek of the 25 top secret agents in movie history.
Yeah.
Here we go. We haven't read the top 10 yet, have we, Mason?
No. And also
But-
this list is from 2018 also.
Yes.
So
No.
can't think of anyone who's debuted as a spy.
Chris Hemsworth Extraction.
Atomic Blonde.
Oh, yeah, was that since?
I can't
then?
remember. I reckon that was like 2019. I'm going to look it up.
More like James Blonde, am I right, everyone?
Nice.
Got it.
Nice.
I swear to God, if John
No,
Wick's on
Atomic
this
Blonde
list,
came out in 2017.
Okay, so
if
it
she's-
might be on
Okay,
there.
so I'm gonna say ahead of time, if she's not on this list, we riot.
what do you think John Wick will be on here? Because it seems some of these are a bit like, is that a secret agent?
Okay.
Just looking
Okay, if
through.
Atomic Blonde is not on here, but John Wick is on here,
Yeah.
we riot.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
We put on our Burt Ward Robin costumes and we charge down the street. We smash up parking meters and stuff. We smash them for all the coins. We've earned it, James.
All right, let's start off at number 25. What do we got?
Other people that I'll also be mad. No, I'll save it.
Okay.
I had one from earlier that I'll be mad if it's not on the list.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Bit of sizzle. Number 25, what do we got?
Number 25, we have Jimmy Tong, who is Jackie Chan from the movie The Tuxedo.
Surely he's played a spy in another thing.
He must have done.
Come on.
Right?
I mean, I haven't seen The Tuxedo, but the idea is that The Tuxedo was technology
Yeah.
and he can do various martial arts, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I'm just going to type in Jackie Chan spy
Okay.
because he's probably been a spy in
I
another
bet he's
thing.
been a spy in a better
The Spy
movie.
Next Door?
He was in
He was in The Spy Next Door.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Wasn't he also in that movie recently where he's like, they've kidnapped my daughter or something?
Kidnap my daughter or something.
Yeah.
If you could.
No, it's they've kidnapped my daughter or something.
Oh, okay.
But isn't he in that one? It's him and like another famous guy who you'd never think would work together in a movie.
Is it like Pierce Brosnan or something? Is it
Something like
one?
that. I think it is, yeah.
Yeah.
One of them's a spy.
Is it called like The International or something like that?
Something like
but
that.
But it's not called that,
Yes.
maybe?
That's right.
It's the immigrant. It's called like The Immigrant or something like that.
Yeah.
Let me check.
Okay.
Jackie Chan, Pierce Brosnan, The Foreigner.
There we
go.
go.
2017, they could have put it in.
Could have put it in.
Yeah.
But wait, is there either of them
I don't
spy in
know.
that?
Let me check.
Also, every entry is going to be like this, by the
Yeah.
way. So we're not going to discuss. we're
Okay,
gonna look
so
at-
he is a widowed former Vietnam Special Operations Forces soldier. Does that count?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
Wait, Jackie Chan is.
I guess.
Not Pierce
if
Brosnan.
that's his characters
Okay.
in this. Is this a good movie? Let me check. Box office. 66 Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. Anyway, The Tuxedo. What? Next up, we have at number 24, Derek Flint from Our Man Flint.
I actually like the Flint movies. I think they're pretty good.
So these are like Austin Powers. Well, they're mentioned in Austin Powers, aren't
That's
they?
true, yeah.
And it's a James Bond spoof, right?
Yeah, it's Our Man Flint, and it's in like Flint, I think is the other
Yeah.
one. But yeah, it's sort of like Austin Powers, or it's sort of like Bond turned up to 11. It's kind of like that. Yeah.
So it's like Roger Moore Bond.
Yeah, it's like Roger Moore Bond, but even more so.
Before.
Yeah, it's kind of,
He's also he's coaxed out of retirement because a superior agent isn't available who's 0008. Okay. He's unflappable, flirty, and handy with a karate chop. It's also James Coburn, who I quite like.
right?
That's a good choice.
I think so.
Let's skip
a
it.
worthy number 24.
Sure.
Unless Atomic Blonde isn't on here, in which case, get out.
I say more like James Blonde.
Nice.
Number 23. Oh, it's a double up.
It is a double
It's
up
a
already.
double feature
Yeah.
of a movie that wasn't good enough to get a sequel and now can't get a sequel because of cannibalism, potentially.
I was going to say, I was like, who of this cast probably wouldn't come back? And I'm like, oh yeah, because of the cannibalism. All right.
Allegedly.
Alleged I don't think he's ever cannibalized anybody.
I didn't say that. I said allegedly.
That's what I'm saying. I'm clearing up what you're saying.
Anyway, The Man from U.N.C.L.E.,
Mm-hmm.
which starred Armie Hammer and Superman.
Mm.
And it's Napoleon Solo and Ilya Kuryakin.
That's right.
Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Perfect.
I think this movie has a certain charm to it.
Yeah, I know you always say that, but then you've also said that you tried to watch it again, you couldn't.
I couldn't, but then James, I tried again and I successfully watched it. So who's
I like the bit where he's eating the sandwich.
that's a bit of a highlight. One of the Armie Hammers being somebody's trying to murder him in a boat chase or whatever, and then and Solo's just
Eating a sandwich.
eating a sandwich.
It's
in
a
truck.
waste of a setting and cast.
Right.
And, like, they get the era, like, perfect.
Mm.
And it's just a fucking nothing movie,
Yeah, fair enough.
in my opinion.
Okay. Well, see, if this had kicked off, what probably would have happened is that they would have fast-tracked Bond is in the 60s again, I reckon.
Yeah.
If this was really absolutely killer.
If this was, But I think also now if they do Bond in doo-doo, if they do Bond in the
James,
60s.
please.
To stop myself twice, Mason.
Grow up.
They can credit themselves for it.
That's
'Cause
true.
They could be like, no, we thought of this.
Yeah. Also, it is one of those movies where at the end it's like, you thought you were going to, the terrorists were going to win, but actually several
already-
hours ago we fixed this.
Yeah.
We solved the problem.
This movie
already.
actually finished before it started. You shouldn't even be in theaters
No, why do
anymore.
you even bother?
What else we got? Number 22.
Phil Coulson. From,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Is he a spy?
There's a lot of He's in
secret agent.
He's
I
in
guess.
Shield.
Yeah.
Let me go up to the top of this again. Top 25 secret agents in movie history.
Yeah.
I mean, operatives, spies, moles, infiltrators, secret agents go by many names. The following list also proves secret agents can come in many forms. Some are trained for the life of spies, but many of them have the world of espionage and imminent death thrust upon them. Plenty of famous names. Great secret agents from cinema history who we think deserve their own brief moment in the spotlight. Okay. I would argue he's not particularly secret
No.
because he keeps introducing himself as Phil Coulson from S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes, that's
He's
true.
like, hello, local law enforcement. It's me, Phil
I'm
Coulson
from a
S.H.I.E.L.D.
secret organization or whatever. But he gets more secret, doesn't he?
In Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he's quite secret at most points, yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, look, let's put him in there.
And you love Clark Gregg or Greg Clark.
Whatever his name is. Whatever he ends up deciding on.
Oh, 21. Here's a good one.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Do you think...
This should be higher.
Before we say who this is, do you think this should have gotten a sequel or a franchise or multiple movies? Or do you think this is perfect the way it is?
I think they are going to do a show, or there's been talk of.
With this guy?
No, I think it's
recast?
different people. But the ship has sailed on this.
Yes.
Unless you put him in the Charlton Heston role. Anyway, what are we talking about?
We're talking about Harry Tasker as portrayed by Arnold Schwarzenegger in True Lies.
Yeah. Now, look, I also know that True Lies has like a lot of problematic and outdated views on like the Middle East and things like that in it.
But at the same time, we haven't seen it in years.
Yeah,
so.
well, that's also true. But it's like it's a fun, silly movie, and Arnold is like he's not. I think I talked about this on Total Reboot, with which podcast you also did when I talked about the Terminator. But every time James Cameron uses Arnold, he knows exactly what to do with him.
Yeah,
I think this is the last time Arnold was like in a perfect action movie.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not saying he hasn't done good stuff since because he's been in some pretty good stuff. Yeah. But this role, I think this is the pinnacle of him as a movie star.
Yeah, and it's perfectly pitched as this guy who is just a wall of muscle.
Yeah.
But also he's a computer salesman. Like that's his cover story. But he's also like I just think that's just the funny. It's a funny bit, and it never falls into like I can't enjoy this movie because it doesn't make any sense. Well, of course it doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. On the topic of the series, it's been rumored for years. In February of 2021, CBS announced a pilot order and a second attempt at a True Lies adaptation. Blah, blah, blah. James Cameron, director of the film, will be executive produce. Blah, blah, blah. McGee is set to direct the pilot.
McGee?
Yeah. And CBS moved the pilot off cycle to give the series producers more time to film the pilot later in the year. And that's the last we have heard of it. It has to tie in. Tom Arnold would definitely do it because he always brings it up. He's always like, we're doing True Lies too.
True,
and it's like, you're not.
We're calling it Two Lies.
We're calling it Too Many True Lies too. I don't think they could do it again. I don't think they could nail it.
There's an excessive number of True Lies happening right now is the line from the movie.
But they couldn't nail it now, right? I don't think so.
No, would Cameron, would he might... Does he executive produce?
Yeah, he did. He does. He produces like all the Terminator movies,
I guess that's
mostly,
true, yeah.
bits and pieces.
True Lies.
Next up, I haven't seen this movie.
I have seen it.
Mallory Kane
From the movie Haywire.
Yeah, Gina Carano famously left Star Wars to make action movies for the Daily Wire or something. So famously had decided to make the decision between being an ongoing character in Star Wars forever and making social media posts, and she chose the latter. Hey, everyone picks their lane.
You got to pick your lane, and good for her for being a hero, is what I say.
Haywire is good though, isn't it?
I like Haywire a lot. It's got Channing Tatum in it.
Isn't she dubbed in it?
I don't know.
Okay, let me check.
I think because this came out in 2011, I think. And when this came out, I think I probably had like a standard definition TV, or I was watching it on a laptop or something like that. So I probably wouldn't have noticed if it was dubbed.
Yeah, here we go. Why did they dub Gina Carano's voice in Haywire? And it seems Soderbergh wanted to emphasize every possible difference between Gina Carano and the character she plays on screen. So with Carano's participation, he did some work to alter her voice in the film.
Oh.
So her voice was altered.
That reminds me, there's a Steven Soderbergh movie coming up very soon.
The entire dialogue was dubbed over by another actress.
Oh. It was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
They took all his dialogue from Hercules in New York.
Really?
Yeah, they just dubbed it over the top of it.
Probably could have picked a better movie.
No, they picked up, they were like... Well,
also, he's already dubbed over in that movie.
Yeah,
so did they use the original
dialogue? They used the original dialogue. They just plugged it in. They're like, we got it here. They're like,
We've never used it.
It's been sitting here for years, for decades. They've changed the tax laws. If we don't use it, we're going to pay like millions of dollars. We just dub her over. It's fine.
What were you going to say, though?
Soderbergh's got that new movie that's... it's already out. It's on HBO Max. No Sudden Move.
Which one's that?
It's the Crime Caper. It's got Cheadle in it. It's got Benicio del Toro, David Harbour, John Hamm, Brendan Fraser is in it.
Oh, wow.
Kieran Culkin is in it. Ray Liotta is in it.
This looks incredible.
Bill Duke is in it.
This came out in June?
Came out in June or July. It got a general release, yeah.
Mysticum.
Is it out in Australia?
Brendan Fraser's in it. Did you mention that already?
I did mention that, yeah.
Cool. All right. Great.
Very cool. We're not learning much about secret agents, but we are learning a lot about...
You're not supposed to know anything about secret agents, are you?
That's the revelation we've come to.
Number 19, another double up. Agent K and J from Men in Black.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're secret agents, I guess, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. Yep.
Yeah, they sure
I think
are.
it throws me a bit because they're like alien cops.
Yes, exactly.
Because I'm
yeah.
like, is that a secret agent? But they are secret agents.
But I thought
aren't they?
this was a list of like underrated secret agents.
Oh no!
These guys are very rated, I feel.
They're very rated.
I think they're a great look. If this were the list of best buddy cop team members,
Yep.
I'd put them way high, very high on the list.
Higher than Eddie Murphy and Robert De Niro in the movie Showtime.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There we go. Higher than the movie I Spy with Eddie Murphy and Owen Wilson.
Yes.
Higher than the movie Another 48 Hours with Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte.
Yes.
Higher than the movie Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd.
Yes.
Higher than the higher than the movie The Golden Child with Eddie Murphy and someone else who's in that movie.
Yes.
He's not a spy.
No.
in that.
No,
or a buddy. He doesn't have a buddy in that.
No, I don't think he has a buddy. Not that little boy is his buddy, I guess.
I guess. That golden little boy.
Yes.
What do we got number 18?
Number 18, John Mason.
Yeah, so he's
Relative of
from
mine, The Rock.
yeah,
Sean Connery.
This is a good one. One of the few Michael Bay movies that I genuinely, unironically like.
And of course, this one, obviously, this leans into the idea, and I think there's been some even more recent fan speculation on, is this James Bond, and they chucked him in Alcatraz?
Probably.
Probably.
I mean, that was the...
But not literally.
You can't literally
it's
do
an homage.
Because it's an homage. Because
That's what these fan theories often don't take into account.
Yeah.
It's just an homage.
it's just a homage.
You can theorize all you want. That's fine. That's fine and fun.
I'm going to do that. Anyway, I like that idea of an old James Bond.
Same.
And next up at number 17, we have Susan Cooper from the movie Spy. I remember liking Spy.
I like Spy, but she's not the best spy in the movie Spy.
Well,
the
she
best
ends
spy
up,
them-
Jude
yeah.
Law is the best spy in it. Doesn't she end up being the best spy?
Yeah, I mean as in terms of like ridiculous screen presence. It's Statham.
Oh, it's Statham. Of course it is. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
As the biggest, dumbest idiot.
Yeah, who keeps lying about all the things that he's done.
Yeah. It says McCarthy's great value as an unlikely secret agent, and her scenes with Jason Statham, who happens to play the sweariest secret agent in
there
film
you go.
history, are a real high point. I agree.
It's a pretty good movie from memory. Next up, we've got Felix Leiter from the Bond series. Good
Yes.
choice. So he's been played by a few people, more recently, Jeffrey Wright, who actually, I didn't even realize, hasn't played Felix Leiter since Quantum, until now.
Oh, because he wasn't in
Skyfall or Spectre,
Yeah, right.
which for some reason, I just thought, even though we just looked at those movies,
Yeah, right.
he feels like a big presence in
I
those
agree, yeah.
movies.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would like a Felix Leiter series.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
I
There's
think
no
we've-
American spy movies. And this would be a perfect spin-off.
Agreed, yeah.
You know? Well, America isn't like in itself, and they'd hate to hear it. Modern America is a spin-off of England.
That's very true.
We're
yeah.
not. We're like a colony of garbage people that they shoved down
That's
here.
true, yeah.
But America is a spin-off.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do a Felix Leiter. I mean, how about because there's a comic book version. Obviously, there were some comic book spin-offs recently through Dynamite, and in those, they're set in the book continuity, and in the book continuity, he was like mauled by a shark. He's mauled by a shark in License to Kill.
Yeah,
but in the books,
his legs, does he?
Yeah, one leg and one arm.
Okay.
But in the books, he's mauled in Live and Let Die. But because it's America and sharks, but he gets like a robot leg and a robot arm, and they're super high tech
Sick.
in the comic book. So
Yeah.
do you want that? Do we give him that sort of high
Sure.
tech stuff?
Maybe not in the first movie, but yeah. Yes.
Yeah, good.
You?
Okay,
It's
yeah.
probably a bit far, but yes. I like those new James Bond comics.
Or is he just like a regular? Like maybe a Felix Leiter movie. It isn't like Bond high tech.
Yeah.
It's not Smart Blood and Aston Martins or whatever. It's just him kicking indoors and like choking people.
Sure.
Because that's the joy of the most recent Bond movies. It's just him choking
kicking
people.
indoors and choking people? You
But
might
is
be
he a
right.
choking guy? or
Not
is he-
really.
Yeah.
He's sitting in a bar. He's like, God, I hope James Bond gets here soon because I am well out of my depth. And I have to talk to David Harbour.
And I'm
I
drunk.
hate him. And I'm
so
drunk.
drunk.
I've spent all the money that they gave me at the CIA. I don't know what I'm doing.
I've never played poker before this. I don't know why they got me to do it.
David Harbour probably would have played poker before. Don't you think that character in those movies looks like he played poker
Yeah.
on the weekend?
Not
with his,
well, though.
With his buddies?
Yeah, with his buddies to get away from his wife.
Yeah.
I
but-
feel Felix Leiter series now.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? They seem a bit reluctant to do spin-offs because they've talked about, I saw this week that they spoke to the Broccolis about some potential spin-offs for characters in the new movie. And they're like, we don't really want to do that.
That's a
I think they're
shame.
really protective of the IP. And they should be because this could very easily be like 14 James Bond prequel spin-off shows
true.
and whatever. You know, it could happen. Remember Treadstone, the Jason Bourne series?
Of course, everyone does.
It's still going.
I'll get you a Treadstone cake for your birthday. Treadstone on it, and whoever was the main guy in Treadstone.
Yeah.
I said, went to the cake shop and just said, put the main guy from Treadstone on the cake, and they're like, well, we've got one here ready already. And I'm like, great.
It's our most popular cake. That show's still
We
going.
almost sold out.
Yeah. The only reason there's a spare one is because somebody didn't pick it up. They forgot. Anyway, it's not still going. They cancelled Treadstone.
Yeah, that's true. I reckon this Jeffrey Wright.
Yep.
This Jeffrey Wright, Felix Leiter. He'd be a very good guy who fights people in an alley.
Yep.
Like he pulls the suit jacket over their head
Sure,
and then he beats them with like a brick or something.
Yeah, okay.
I think that would be. I reckon there'd be some good action sequence because he doesn't strike me as a guy who like knows a lot of martial arts or whatever, but he would fight dirty,
Totally.
which I like.
Me too. Number 15.
Oh,
one of our
Salt?
One of our favorites.
From the movie
Is it
Salt.
Evelyn or is it Evelyn?
I don't know.
Anyway, it's Salt. Now, this role, I believe, was like going to be a Tom Cruise thing as well.
Tom Cruise vehicle, yeah.
And it ended up being an Angelina Jolie
Vehicle.
okay action spy
true.
movie from memory. Do you remember much of this?
Not a lot.
Yeah. We saw it at the cinemas together.
Did we?
We did.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
and
true.
there's been talk of like Salt sequels ever since.
I thought you were going to say there's talk of us going to the cinemas again one day.
That's right. Well, actually, yeah, I was going to say when's the last thing we saw together? Probably.
Salt?
No, it would have been
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
It's Jolie's performance that keeps the story simmering. She's dangerous, sly, and perhaps a traitor. And all of that's what makes her so compelling to watch.
Tom Cruise was initially secured as the lead, but then it was rewritten. So there you go. I remember it being, again, fine. Ollie, you're making too much barking noises. She's making too much barking noises, Mason. Don't you agree? Baby's asleep. If the baby's asleep, this podcast ends if she wakes up, Mason.
Well,
Let me just go get that dog while you read the next one or just pause and wait.
now what I'm going to do is I'm going to think of a funny name the character would have that isn't Salt, that Tom Cruise is, like, it would be a different condiment. You see what I'm saying? Like probably like coriander or something, or like a ketchup. Would it be Secret Agent Ketchup? I think it'd be ketchup. Mustard? Because my initial thought was pepper, right?
I didn't hear any of that.
So
I heard
what I'm
something about
saying-
condiments?
Yeah, if Tom Cruise would had the role,
Yeah.
what would the character be named? I'm thinking some other sort of table condiment. Like
Okay.
Secret Agent Ketchup,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
Sergeant Pepper.
Sergeant Pepper would definitely work, yes.
Thank you. Yellow Submarine.
Colonel Mustard.
That's good.
It's Tom Cruise is Colonel Mustard. He's breaking out. He's already got the clues. He's out of there. But I guess he already
Secret
had...
Sauce? Is that anything?
Secret Sauce. Yep, that's right.
Great. At number...
But
sorry.
I guess he didn't do it because we would have been deep in bloody Mission Impossible, man.
Not really at
Mr.
that
Mission
point. That was
Impossible.
before 4.
Ah,
so it was
okay.
kind of...
I was up in the air when they
It was
were going
about
to do
to kind
another
of take off properly again. Even though they'd already done 3 and 3 was pretty good. Number 14, we've got Edgar Brody.
In 1936, a secret agent. Wow, this is something for our podcast time capsule, I think.
Yeah.
Where we'd just go through the year 1936 and we'd say, secret agent, what's that?
But it was directed by Alfred Hitchcock, interestingly. And that is interesting. So
It's very
and set
interesting.
during World War One. So there you go. That's interesting.
He's on a telephone. He's
Yep.
looking stern and stoic.
Oh my
That is
God.
classic 1936.
That's a wig. Is it? Can't tell from
on
this
Edgar
image
Brody.
quality. Yeah,
No, I think that's his real hair.
can't tell from I can't tell from like the image quality, to be honest.
Okay.
So there you go.
Oh, Peter Lorre's in this. All right. He was in all sorts of Hitchcock movies. Good on him.
I think that's just thin hair, actually,
Okay,
just
yeah,
looking
yeah,
at it.
yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, next up we have at number 15.
Harry Hart from Kingsman
Good one.
and the bad sequel.
Bad sequel, Bad Kingsman. I think they made this list also because it was just before Kingsman 2 came
Yes,
out.
yeah.
I believe so. There was a touch of class. It took.
That's true.
I think, which is often a surprising thing, and this can also be said for the Jason Bourne movies. They take an actor who's not known for roles of action and they put Colin Firth in like amazing action sequences.
That's true, yeah.
And then there was a second movie with robot dogs. And
How much of that is him and how much of that is stunt performer, I wonder?
I think it's like mostly him, I believe. But there's like a oneer. There's a couple of oneers. Or there's one in particular in the church, which is it's not really a oneer. It's like
Made it look like
but
one.
a lot of it is him. Yeah, probably not all of it. This next one, I'm like, he's a spy.
He is a spy.
We're talking about, of course.
Bruce Lee in Enter the Dragon.
I've never seen Enter the Dragon, but he's hired by British intelligence to go on a secret mission.
And he says, why don't they just get they want to get rid of this guy. And he's like, why don't they just get a 45 and like that?
That's what he says.
Yeah.
Do they dub him?
I don't think so.
I know they dub his, like, the noises that he makes when fighting people.
Yeah.
He doesn't make any of those noises. Those are put in.
Oh, they added them in.
Yeah,
I wonder
which
how he
is
felt about that.
Probably bad, I reckon.
Yeah.
Because they're a bit silly, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, that's also a thing that people remember, It's like a staple. Hayar and a wah and whatever.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Also noises made by Wario. So
Hayar.
if they didn't add these stupid noises to Bruce Lee's action sequences, we'd never have the evil Mario and Luigi brothers.
So true. And next up we have at number 11, Jack Ryan. From The Hunt for Red October.
I don't feel he's a secret agent.
Up to Jack Ryan.
He's a pencil pusher.
Shadow Recruit.
Jack Ryan.
No, well, new Jack Ryan series or whatever, which I don't watch.
Same.
Which is probably cancelled or still going. What do you think? It's on Amazon, so it's probably still going.
I think it is.
Let me check.
I reckon they've done 3 and it's on hiatus.
Yeah. This is one, it's still going. It's at the present day. This is one of those characters now that people look back and go, and especially now that this is CIA propaganda.
Yeah, for
Which
sure.
it is.
Yeah.
They've done 2, and it hasn't been an episode since October of 2019. So presumably the pandemic, has delayed it. But we are getting more Jack Ryan, apparently.
Great.
Who cares? He's also been...
Quick out there, name a characteristic of Jack Ryan. You can't do it.
Alec Baldwin.
Oh, good point. That is a characteristic.
Harrison Ford twice. Ben Affleck once. Chris... Which Chris is it? Pine another time.
I meant more name like a.
Sometimes in a suit. Is an answer to that.
Okay, that's a good point. Actually, yeah, you've nailed it.
Once on a submarine. Clear and present danger.
He is either creating or stopping a clear and present danger. So I think that
Do you think he's creating a clear and present danger?
Maybe.
What is the CIA?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Ryan, you've got to create a clear and present danger, and then we can topple this democratically elected government and install our own one. You're a hero, Jack Ryan. Nah, good on you.
So I think Harrison Ford replaced Alec Baldwin due to, I think Alec Baldwin was the more popular and he cost more at the time.
Oh, I see.
Which
right,
is
right.
interesting. But Alec Baldwin doesn't have the characters that Harrison Ford has now. Do you know what I mean? Like nobody's like, I'll bring back Alec Baldwin as the Shadow. Oh, you are.
I would definitely say that.
Anyway, then we've got Alec Leamus in The Spy Who Came In From the Cold.
Yes.
This is a good one, isn't it? I've actually never seen it.
I have seen this. It's good, yeah.
Richard Burton.
Miserable. It's not. It's the exact opposite of cool glamour. I think at one point you see him sadly washing his socks in the sink.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Yeah, just that idea of they're not very well paid. These people,
Yeah, and he's out in the he's out in the cold, as it were.
Yeah,
I'm
a big fan of that. Yeah, there you go. Number 9, we've got Ethan Hunt. I mean, he is a spy, isn't he? I'm this guy's the stuff that he does is lunacy, but it's espionage, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
masks and tasks. This fellow, isn't
Masks
it?
and tasks. That's right.
I mean, we've talked about this guy to death. Something wrong with him.
But
he's still
he wishes
doing it.
he was dead.
Yeah,
but he can't kill himself.
That's right. But Tom Cruise makes great movies. Got him.
Yeah. Shame about he's crazy.
Yes. And then we've got
number 8. This is a good one.
You
I
love
like
this
number
one,
8.
don't you?
Joe Turner, which is obviously Robert Redford in 3 Days of the Condor. Have you not seen this one?
I still haven't seen it, and I know there's the new series, but I feel like
Just
I
called
should.
Condor.
Yeah, I should watch this first, right? Though the series is a remake of the original, right?
Yes.
And it's
Which I think is the remake of a book. I think the book was called 7 Days of the Condor.
Okay.
And they were just like, we don't need 4 of these days. Yeah, but basically, it's about a guy. He's
I love
like an
the
analyst.
premise.
He's not He's not a secret agent so much. So he's off the bloody list.
Yep.
No, he's just like a guy who like analyzes data and tapes and video footage or whatever. And he leaves to go for he's in a like an office with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
He leaves to go get coffee, and then his entire team is killed. And he shows up, and everybody's dead. And he's like, "Oh, nuts!" He has to go on the run.
just work the phones or whatever.
Yeah, and it's big time 70s style as well. Robert Redford style icon. He's looking great.
I'm a big fan.
He's got his
of
aviators on.
Yeah.
He's got his tweed jacket and his blue jeans.
I'm a big fan of Robert Redford. How is that Robert Redford that good looking? Doesn't
Don't
even
know.
make any sense.
Yeah.
Is that even his real hair color? Is it a wig? This dude's out of control.
Right.
It still looks like that as well.
This is a stupid question. Did men dye their hair like blonde in the 70s?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
I guess they did.
Story checks out.
Well, like this color of blonde is unusual as well.
Yeah, that's
You know what I
true.
mean? Because normally you lose that color if you're blonde as you get older.
Yeah.
Number 7, we've got Gunther Buckman. I haven't seen this, The Most Wanted Man.
But it's Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. So this does look good, but again, I don't have anything to say.
It was directed by Anton Corbijn. What did he do? Let's look it up.
I'm going to give it a look. See,
Yes.
let's give it a look.
He directed The American, which is that George Clooney movie.
Is that good?
Yes, it is good. Yeah.
I've never seen The American.
He's like a why is he not in this list? That's a good spy movie.
Okay.
That's great. It's very understated, and he's just like he's very cool and businesslike. It's all about the tone of that movie. It's good.
All right. Next up, we have Nikita from La Femme Nikita, which was also a TV series, wasn't it? For a time.
It sure was, yeah.
1990. It's very watchable. And she's initially a drug-addled dropout and is given a stark choice, either train to become an operative or die in prison. So there you go. Exciting stuff all around. I should watch that, or should I? Next, we've got Alicia Huberman from Notorious 1946. Daughter of a convicted German spy who is herself pressed into service as an agent for the Americans. Is this based on a real person? Maybe it's not. I don't know. Anyway, cool. Again, another one I don't really know that much about because it's from 1946 or whatever, but it is Hitchcock. Did it do, is it good? I guess it's good if it's number 6 or whatever. What's next, Mason? Oh, here we go. No surprises here. I thought it'd be a little higher, though. Jason Bourne. Do you think they put Jeremy Renner's Jason Bourne in here as well?
I mean, they've put a photo of Matthew Damon.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Jeremy Renner will merit a mention.
Jeremy Renner does his best as Aaron Cross, but as an agent in constant need of brain-boosting pills, it's no replacement for Bourne and his ever-present identity crisis. I still think Bourne...
Do you think they threw that at Jeremy Renner during production or some of the scenes? They're like, man, your character needs brain-boosting pills because he's dumb. He's a real dummy.
He's a dumb guy.
Yeah.
That's why we cast you.
Yeah.
It's perfect for you.
Yeah. And you might be like, I don't think I feel that way, but I'll present to you this mirror and look in the mirror and tell me you're a guy who doesn't need brain-boosting pills. Jeremy, you've signed the contract. It's too late, Jeremy.
Jeremy. So there you go. Yeah, he's a good spy. I still think the first Bourne movie is the best one.
Yeah.
And it's got the most intrigue because then every other movie's like, who am I or whatever. You know?
Yes.
It's like, didn't we do this already?
But in the last one where he's like, who am I? And also there's an app or something.
There's an app or something.
You know?
What do you mean Facebook's taking all our data or some kind of Facebook, whatever Facebook is in my
Or at a
universe.
Facebook conference or something.
Oh, no.
Or escape behind this tram or something.
Here's one I haven't seen also. George Smiley and Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Have you seen Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy?
I have not seen Tinker
Man, it's
Tailor,
very
but
good.
that's a Le Carre novel as well.
Yes, it is. Was this a Spielberg?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Let me quickly look that one
Doesn't
up.
feel like a Spielberg.
What
It
about
does
that
have
one?
old- it
What
does
about
have-
Bridge of Spies? Does that feel like it's? I don't know. It's Thomas Alfredson.
Oh, Thomas Alfredson.
Alfredson, sorry. You might know as director of. I'm just off the top of my head. You might know him as the director of Mason, The Snowman 2017, that movie that everyone makes fun of.
Oh, because it's really badly edited, sure.
Apparently, but I've never seen it. Number 2. Ooh. Now, James Bond is probably going to be number 1, but number 2 is Harry Palmer.
Yes.
You a Harry Palmer fan?
That's bloody. I'm tell you what, I'm a fan of our old mate.
Yeah. Michael Caine.
Michael Caine,
Me
yes.
too. Is he in all the sequels?
Yes, I think he is, yeah.
Why aren't
they went on to they went to the 80s, I think.
Why aren't they still making these?
He probably doesn't want to do them.
Wow. The last one he did was Midnight in St. Petersburg in 1996.
I was going to say, yeah, okay.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Wow, so he started doing it in 65. And there was one in 90. There There was one in 95 and in
Yeah.
96.
They're all on. I think they're all on Amazon.
They're all on Amazon,
I saw one recently. I put it on my list. I'm like, yeah, I should rewatch these.
But he didn't do one between 1976 and 1995.
Yeah.
So they could technically do another one of these.
But then he sort of had. Yeah, remember he sort of had that resurgence where I think it was. It was after this. I think it was like Dark Knight. It was probably
Yeah,
like a
that's-
Batman Begins Dark Knight.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he did Harry Brown. You remember Harry Brown?
You do Harry. I love Harry Brown, yeah. So there you go. Wow, cool. And then at number 1, if it's not James Bond, it's got to be Atomic Blonde. It's James Bond. It's obviously James Bond. Well, they didn't have Atomic Blonde.
And they didn't have whatever Robert De Niro's character's name is in Ronin.
And they didn't have John Wick, who's
They didn't
technically not a spy, but that would have given us the right to riot.
Well, we're still going to riot, though. Because
gonna have
Atomic
to.
Blonde isn't on there, so we're going to riot.
What do you think's missing from here? Austin Powers?
Yes, Austin Powers.
I think he is genuinely missing from here.
Yeah.
If you can put in like Flynn or whatever, and you can put in Men in Black,
Yeah.
you can put in fucking whatever his name
Because,
is.
yeah, like, it's because he, it's not like they're like, we won't include comedies, because Men in Black's a comedy.
What about that CIA one? Oh, no, I was going to say the CIA one where Will Smith's like, stop chasing my family, but he's being chased by
Exactly.
covert operatives and not. What about Penguins of Madagascar? They're spies, aren't they?
Sure are.
What
Spies
about
in disguise.
I was about to say the one where Will Smith turns into a pigeon.
Oh, my God.
Well, I guess there's also a bunch of TV ones. Like I know people love the Americans.
They should have done a sequel to Ronin, is all I'm saying.
Maybe they still can. Maybe they can make a movie that's not as good now. Would you like that?
Yeah, I'd love that.
It's interesting that they picked Felix Leiter, but none of the other Bond. Like there are a bunch of other Bond characters I guess you could have chosen.
Like who?
Yeah, I was just thinking.
Jinx?
No. that's
Q?
yes.
Old Q?
Old Q. What's
Whatever Rowan Atkinson's character was?
What about Clive Owen? He must have been a spy.
He's been a croupier.
Yeah.
He was nearly Bond, probably.
Oh, there we go. He was in the movie Duplicity with Julia Roberts where he was a
I
corporate
remember
spy.
that one,
That's
yes.
a good movie.
I recall it being good.
Yeah.
You never see it on any lists, though, do you?
Nah.
It's one of those ones that just disappeared.
Yeah, there you go.
But everybody was double-crossing everybody.
Everybody had a secret pill for youth or something, or thought they did. Because it was about the cosmetics and...
Is that what it was about?
Yeah, it was about basically there was like a secret formula for something that... They were corporate spies trying to find out what the other cosmetic companies were doing and whatever. Anyway, not a bad list though, all in all. What do you think?
I loved it.
Me too.
It's the best list we've ever torn apart on this podcast. Did we miss any famous spies?
What about Spy versus Spy? What about Inspector Gadget?
The comic strip characters.
Yeah,
He's a cop.
He's a cop. And he doesn't even know he's spying when he's doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a magnifying glass in his hat, but that doth not make it.
That's right.
A
Secret
spy.
squirrel.
Yeah. There we go. What about fucking
He's got a bulletproof coat and a cannon hat.
what the fuck's
Machine
his
gun
name?
cane that goes rat-tat-tat-tat-tat.
Max fucking Smart, whatever his name is.
Maxwell Smart.
Maxwell
you nailed
Smart,
it.
yeah.
Yes. You're obviously friends with him because you called him Max Smart.
Yeah, we're good friends.
Yeah.
Best. I'm just gonna write best TV spies. What about like that Val Kilmer one where he does different voices and hats?
The Saint.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
yeah.
a spy, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's been a spy.
What about
I don't know if that version
What
was
about the
a
TV
spy.
show Homeland?
The Saint's more of a private operative, I feel.
What about Sandra Oh in that thing where she does
Killing
like,
Eve.
espionage?
Well, that came out after this list, obviously.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
And she's more a bureaucrat.
You're more of a bureaucrat, bitch.
Is that your new catchphrase? You say it to people at the bank? When the line is too long?
There you go. What about Kiefer Sutherland in 24?
Yep, great.
Is he a spy? I don't think that show ever lived up to its
He's
potential.
just a guy running around. I don't think he counts as a spy.
Yeah, you might be right. But don't you think that show never... What about Black Widow?
I mean, yes.
I think if that Black Widow movie had have come out at the time of this list, she would have made the list.
Oh, she definitely would have. But also, well, because she does... She feels more like an action. Like all the spy stuff to me feels like it's alluded to but is never said. It's always like, I remember Budapest, and it's like...
Fair point.
I get, but like mostly what she does is she goes into a room and there's a bunch of bad guys, she beats them up, and that's cool.
Yep.
But I mean, when she taking photos of plans with microfilm, you know,
It's a great point.
with one of those little cameras.
What about Avengers, 1960s?
Go on.
Avengers remake, 96 or whatever that was.
Go on.
With Rafe Fiennes and Uma
Yes.
Thurman. They're spies, aren't they?
They're spies.
What about that Alias?
Great show.
That's a spy. That's a spy, Mason.
It's a spy, all right.
What about that spy movie with Val Kilmer?
The Saint.
No, the other one, like the Top Secret. It's called like Top Secret or something like that.
Yeah, Top Secret.
I think it's called Top
It
Secret.
is called Top Secret, yeah.
Anyway, there you go. There's some good spies here, mate.
There is.
There's some good spies here.
Missed out on Atomic Blonde. Never forgive them. I'll never forgive you, Den of Geek.
What about Valkyrie?
It's technically got some spying
Sort of,
in it.
there's some
But I
spying.
consider that more a Nazi movie.
Yeah. It's your favourite movie, isn't
It's
it?
not.
Because the Nazis actually... Because they don't kill Hitler. That's what you like about
No,
that movie.
it's not true.
What?
It's not true.
That's what you tell me.
I don't like Nazis or Hitler.
Oh. Okay. That's interesting. It's interesting how, like, you have one personality off air and then on you say different. Oh, what about that show, The Night Manager, Tom Hiddleston?
Is he a spy?
Yeah, he's sort of a spy or whatever.
He's a night
And he's a night manager.
Right.
Yeah, so
Well, that
they-
didn't come out probably.
yeah, you're probably right, maybe. Definitely. Anyway, there's definitely more, but those are some of them.
Well, look, if I've come away from nothing else
Chuck!
from the TV series,
Is
Chuck.
he a spy?
Yes, probably. Oh, he's more a running around and a kicking guy. He's got some spy stuff. It doesn't matter. Anyway, if nothing else, this episode, I've come away with a lot of stuff that I'm going to go and watch
Yeah.
when I get home.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith, both spies or assassins. Doesn't matter.
Mostly assassins, I think. Yeah.
Great, there we go. Anyway, we've got to move it forward.
Okay.
Because what are we if we're not moving forward?
Not sharks. We're reverse
Exactly,
sharks.
reverse sharks, backward sharks. Do you know what it's time for then?
Is it time for What We Readin'? And then it's sequel, What We Gonna Read.
You're actually not going to believe it, Mason, but you are correct.
Yes.
Here we go. I put it on mute. I'll never get anything right. I'm a fucking idiot.
James.
I'm doing the thing.
Don't talk like that.
Westworld.
Sometimes you get some things kind of right.
It's not true. It's not true at all. and you
That's
know
true.
it.
I lied because I wanted to make you feel better. That's how that happened.
What are you reading?
I have been, speaking of Lower Decks, I'm catching up on Star Trek Lower Decks. I'm
good, it's
enjoying
funny.
that.
I
Good
like
show.
it.
Still got a few episodes to go.
Yep.
And I'm currently up to date with Only Murders in the Building, which I've mentioned
Oh, I have to
in
start
episodes
that.
past, which is Martin Short and Steve Martin and Selena Gomez and other stars, celebrity guest stars.
Yeah, oh, can you not tell me? Because
No, I
it's
can tell
very...
you.
No,
Sting's
no,
in
don't
it.
tell me. I don't want to
Okay,
know.
Sting's in it. Sting's in it.
Sting's in it
Yes,
as
Sting.
himself?
Yes.
Fuck! I didn't want to know that. That's awesome.
Well, now you know. But that's a little sizzle for you. But in the most recent episode I think we've mentioned that they're like podcast super fans who discover murder podcast super fans, and
Yeah.
they discover a murder in their own building, and they're like, we'll solve the murder, and we'll also create a podcast about it. But in the most recent episode, they're like, we got to employ the power of our fans to help out, and they bring in and then it's always like, what are the fans like? Bunch of nerds.
Ah, okay, yeah. Oh, wow, yeah. Is that what you're saying that our fans are like?
No, I'm saying that's what we're like because we also listen to
Oh,
podcasts.
yeah. I'm listening to one right now.
What's it about?
It's just my podcast.
JRE,
It's just
isn't
last
it?
week's episode. No. Yes, it's last week's episode of JRE, exclusively on Spotify. Please check it out. Support 100 million.
As I understand it, you listen to the previous episode, our previous week's episode,
Yep.
so you can ensure that the current episode is up to snuff.
Correct.
With the previous episode.
It's quality control, essentially.
yeah.
Um,
There's a little bit of drift.
definitely.
Yeah.
I read Superman 78, issues 1 and 2, which we talked about last week. I really liked it.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot because it does introduce Brainiac of Superman Unbound, which is essentially, if you've ever read that, it's a version of Superman who looks a lot like Christopher Reeve going up against Brainiac. And it's kind of a bit of that story, but it's in the 70s, and Gene Hackman's in it as well. And...
Oh, I know.
just a slight spoiler, but you see the Lex Luthor battle armor.
He builds the Super Friends
He's got it in his
green
cupboard.
and purple suit. He's building, yeah.
I
which
hope he's he better bust that out because I
Right?
swear to God.
They're going to have to... Well, that's
I
the
swear
thing.
to God,
that
Mason. Is it set after Superman 2? It must be, right?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah. Because calling it Superman 78 is confusing.
Because it implies that it's only set after the
And that's
first
why I was
one.
confused about Batman 89 initially. Because it really should be called Batman 93.
It should be called.
Whatever.
It should be called Batman, set in the Tim Burton Batman universe,
Yeah, which isn't the cartoon
but
universe.
not the Joel Schumacher.
They use similar
movies.
themes, but
Yeah.
it's actually...
Is that set after Batman Returns? Can't remember.
Yeah.
I should say.
Can't remember. That's what it should be called.
Do I have watched anything else? Read anything else?
I bet you watched a bunch of stuff, mate.
Probably did.
Yeah.
We both read Absolute Carnage.
We did.
And so I think and that was written by Donny Cates,
Yep,
who
yep.
we're big fans of because we've mentioned on the show he
God Country.
He wrote a comic book called God Country, which is about a magic sword that gets you into all sorts of mischief.
Yeah. For good or ill.
So I'm probably going to go back and read some more Venom stuff because he also did a Venom limited series, and there's a whole. We missed years of
Oh,
Marvel
yeah.
Venom related stuff.
Oh, yeah. And there's more stuff, before and after.
Yeah.
But I think that's it for me.
And I think I'll probably watch No Sudden Move because it's been out for many months now. And it's available.
that movie. I was
Yeah.
like, what? What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
And I'll watch the movie Haywire for the doubling alone.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. James, should we do letters?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, let's do letters. The classic one was
Letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a day away.
I know they're here right now. We're going to do letters.
Well. If it isn't letters time,
You keep looking off to one side with a little twinkle in your eye. And
I'm
what's he looking
at the window of my daughter's bedroom to see if because you can, when she wakes up, she'll poke her head out. And I've got the monitor. Who knows what she's up to?
Yeah, that's right.
She's quite mischievous, as you've seen.
She set up I saw her recording sleeping noises into a tape recorder and she just leaned it against the monitor. She's playing it. She's got some real baby day out vibes, that your kid. And then she's off doing mischief. She's on the trampoline.
Yeah, she's good value. I like her. Anyway, for letters, if you do want to reach the show, #WeeklyPlanetPod on Twitter.
That's right.
Or weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. Where you at, Mason?
This is from Samuel.
Hello.
He says, my favourite thing about your pod.
Wow.
Here we go.
What favourite
Let's
thing?
hear what it is. Hey guys, my name is Samuel. I've been listening to your podcast for a few years now. I've tried other podcasts, but yours is the only one I've continued to listen to.
Thank you.
Sucked in other podcasts. Suffer in your jocks, other podcasts. That's some editorializing for me. I think one thing that I had about a lot of podcast YouTube channels that talk about comics, movies, etc., is a lot of them talk about movies that they like as if they're objectively good, or movies that they dislike are objectively bad, and anyone who disagrees is wrong.
Sure.
I reject the notion that there's anything objective about movies or art in general. I don't completely agree with some of your guys' opinions about movies. For example, I love Zack Snyder's DC movies and I love all the Star Wars prequels, but you often reiterate that it's just your opinion. Anybody can like whatever they want. Anyway, that's my favorite thing about your podcast, and I just felt like letting you know, keep up the great work.
Thank you. We try to do that, I guess, don't we?
Yeah. We do, and also
It doesn't matter.
as we've gotten increasly older, I feel like
I think I had stronger opinions. I was like, no, that's definitely bad.
But also,
now
I
I'm
think
like,
it's
whatever.
I've also learned from other people, other podcasters, other YouTube creators and things like that. Of even if I don't like something, I can appreciate elements to it. And I think a lot of time we'll do maybe a caravan of garbage on a movie or something like that, and people will be like, "What? Why did you say this movie sucked?" And I'm like, "I thought I was quite positive."
Yeah.
But I didn't say it was. I didn't definitively go, "This movie is great" or "This movie is bad." I was like, I liked the vibe of it, and I liked the tone, and I liked the themes, but I thought the plot was silly or whatever. But you can
I think often people take like any piece of media, take with it what you want. I get what you
get what you give.
Get what you give. You only get what you give.
That's right.
So yeah, that's interesting. No, thank you. I appreciate that. That's quite
He's
a
also
nice
asked,
thing to
have
say.
either of you watched the show C, starring Jason Momoa on Apple TV?
I have not
If you
yet.
haven't, I would absolutely recommend
started it.
I watched a show that it's on Netflix where he's some sort of oil baron or something.
Oh, yeah,
You
Oil
see that?
Boys.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Jason Momoa's Oil Boy. Jason Momoa's Oily Boys. Jason Momoa's shipload of oily boys. That's what it's called, I think.
Oh yeah.
He's all wearing a big fur coat and he's like, I don't follow him on Instagram, but he seems very nice.
I follow him on Instagram.
He's always promoting his friends' businesses and stuff.
It's true,
we
he is,
gotta-
yeah.
No, I mean that in a good way. I mean in the sense of
yeah, he's always shilling for his mates, mate.
That's right.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
Must be nice. Get your crate of free shoes, Jason Momoa. Get out of here. When are we getting Dune? When is that coming out in
Fuck,
Australia?
we're not. I think we're getting it late December. So I'm going to do the TV version.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's what I meant. When are we getting it?
Yeah, we're getting it when
as
everyone
a-
else
as a
does.
download. Okay.
We're getting
right,
everyone else does, yeah. But we are getting Ghostbusters early January. The new Ghostbusters, which I thought you'd be upset about. That's what I'm aiming to do here.
No, I feel nothing about it.
Oh, by the way, this week we're starting the Amazing Spider-Man movies for Caravan of Garbage.
That's true.
You excited for that?
Yes.
Good.
And we've recorded them
We've
all,
already recorded already,
they're
so-
done. So if anybody has any, fun facts about the series or, some interesting details or we can't put them in.
Stick them up your ass is what Mason's saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Stick them up your ass.
Sometimes, very occasionally I will listen back to an old episode and every time I'm like, man, I should have put in more jokes.
Oh, really?
We should do a second pass and you should send it to me and then I'll listen to myself and go, this dumbass doesn't know anything. I've put in more jokes here.
Maybe I take out all your jokes. Maybe you're putting in jokes.
Oh
I'm
my
taking them
God,
out.
that's why I remember them.
Well, we can do second passes. I don't mind.
Okay.
It's whatever.
Bearing in mind that would take more time.
Let's not.
We'd have less time to watch Jason Momoa's shipload of oily boys.
I guess the difference with YouTube is as well, they have to be tighter than this.
That's true, yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah. And honestly, nobody has time for me to just stare at a wall for several minutes.
we should put that in one day.
Yeah.
Just like, here we go. Mason's going to think
You
of
put
a joke.
you put a small camera on me for several minutes, and I'm just like,
More like James Blonde.
yeah, nice. And you're like, every time he waits 10 minutes and he says the same one
Yeah.
every time.
It's also, the good thing is we've got the luxury of like, sometimes we will pause and be like, fuck, I just need to gather my thoughts.
That's true.
And then we'll go again, and obviously we edit that out. And they're well edited, so that helps.
That's true.
I got one here, a tweet here, hashtag Weekly Planet Pod. Oh, it's that Agatha's tweet that I did before. I did put it in. There you go. So I already did that. This is from Dan, who says, coming off last week's The Beach That Makes You Old, what's a concept for a movie that intrigued you? Did you see the CGI man I posted on Twitter?
Yeah. I think for people without context.
Yeah, sorry.
There's a no spoilers, but at the end of the movie, The Beach That Makes You Old, there's a scene in a room.
Yep.
There's I think 3 men.
Yep.
And the man at the back.
It's no. If you go to my Twitter, it's
Yeah.
there, and there's no spoilers for.
Yeah. And
What it is.
and you maintain he looks quite CGI.
Yeah.
And when we watch it on your laptop, I'm like, that's pretty CGI.
Yeah.
But when I looked at it again on Twitter, I'm like, I don't know, maybe that.
I mean, because why would it be?
Well, when you showed it to me initially, my first thought was, oh, maybe they needed the scene looked too empty, so they had to
Yes,
add an extra person.
sure.
It's got to look busier. And I mean,
But there's someone in front of him with hair, which means you'd have to like cut around the hair.
Yeah,
like it
right,
would be a
right.
very difficult insert.
yeah,
I don't know. Anyway, I haven't heard from M Night yet, but
because you tweeted at him.
no, I didn't. I didn't want to like harass him directly,
Okay.
but I hope it gets to him. Apropos of nothing.
You're hoping the listeners harass him.
No, don't harass him. Leave him alone. Anyway, I liked it because people were like, were you serious that you liked it? Yes, I did like it. I thought it was great.
Well, see, there we go. There's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, his dialogue is terrible.
Yeah.
But it looks great, and what a fun time.
Yeah.
For some reason.
For some reason.
You can like it. You can like 90% of a movie, but think it's bad, or vice versa.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, coming off The Beach That Makes You Old, what's a concept for a movie that intrigued you but turned out to be pretty dumb in execution? Beach That Makes You Old? More like podcast sure is gold.
That's very good.
Got us. Nice. I've just got a few here that are some of mine that I
Please,
think are
go
good
for it.
concept of movies that aren't so good. I think the invention of lying is an interesting concept, but
Yeah.
it's not a good movie.
No,
And I
and-
think a lot of people wanted it to be a good movie, including me, because
You love Ricky Gervais.
I love, I like, yep.
You love Ricky Gervais, and you.
Oh, it's off the back of The Office and extras,
And all
it's
the
got
things
like
he
Louis
says,
C.K. and
him
whatever.
offending people.
But it's mostly just like, oh, I'm an atheist and whatever. And it's like, yeah, we know, mate.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
another
And it didn't
fucking-
really commit to the premise because,
No.
like I think we've mentioned, the world is in a world where people couldn't lie. The entire world would be completely different, like physically and socially.
But I think beyond that, it's not funny enough.
Oh, absolutely.
If it was funny,
Yeah.
then I'd be like, whatever, this world is stupid. But if it's funny, who gives a shit?
Sounds like you're offended.
I am offended. I don't like jokes. I'm the joke police. I'm here to cancel everybody, Mason.
Great.
I'm here to cancel everybody's terrible opinions.
Have you ever done some sort of interagency team up with the Marvel police?
Maybe. Ooh, that's interesting. Going into a different jurisdiction. I
that's
like
right.
the idea of that.
Yeah, right.
Well, Disney are very woke, so I think they'd be on side with me, wouldn't they, Mason?
I think so, yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. You'd be like, I think you should take all the jokes out of your movies because they could be offensive. And they'd be like, yep, we've done it already. We're way ahead of you. We did it already.
Also, I always think, and there are good movies in this franchise, but The Purge is an interesting concept.
Yeah.
It's never. I think that there's 2 Frank Grillo ones, which are 2 and 3, which are more action orientated. But the first one's like just set in a house, and it's fine.
Sure.
And
yeah.
I watched the most recent one, which is The Purge. Let's get to the border or whatever, and it's just like very heavy-handed, like about border crossing and illegal immigrants and whatever. But it's just whatever,
Yeah.
And I just think the idea of a purge is like cool as a concept.
Yeah.
And I think other mediums like Rick and Morty has done a better The Purge,
Yeah,
for
right,
example,
right.
than Purge. Here's another one.
Go on.
In Time. Currency is time. You
Oh,
work
yeah,
for
right.
time.
Yeah, yeah,
Have you ever
sure.
seen that movie?
I've not seen it.
It's pretty crap.
It's a shame.
It's like Gattaca, but is it? You know what I mean? And also, this is a big one, Bright.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, see, that's exactly. I compared Bright to The Invention of Lying when it came out because it was like,
okay, yeah.
because it's a movie in which there was like this world-changing discovery of magical inhuman beings hundreds of years ago, but the world is exactly the same somehow.
Yeah, okay.
Like it's like they didn't try. It could have been better if society had been changed, but or if they'd just gone, we just discovered orcs the other day.
Yeah.
And we've integrated with society. It took a couple of weeks, right?
Do you want, just quickly, things we're doing lists this week?
I love lists.
This is via tasteofcinema.com. It's from 2017.
It tastes like celluloid.
Delicious. Nom, 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 nom.
Nom, nom.
Hold the mayo. Yum, yum, yum. 10 bad movies that wasted a brilliant concept. Here we
Okay,
go.
sure.
Number 10, Limitless. No, I think that's exactly what it should be. The movie
Boring. That movie's so boring.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
It's boring.
What about this one?
It's boring. And also, he's just a guy who's like, and I guess maybe this is I think maybe the book leans more heavily on this. It's the idea of like, he's got a pill that expands his mind to incredible.
It makes him limitless.
Makes him limitless. But
can
then he's just
fly.
like, I'll just be rich.
Yeah.
That's all I'll do. I got no other ideas. I'm using 100% of my brain. That's all I can do is get rich.
Yeah. But then he becomes president or something, doesn't he?
Maybe.
He wants to become president or something?
He wants to become
and
president.
And then the TV series Limitless.
Yes.
Which you liked.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know if I finished the whole thing, but
This guy.
it is sillier, which
This
is
guy not committing.
it's
not committing to the TV
well,
show.
I
Limitless.
liked it in the sense that it's one of those TV shows you can watch without watching a show.
Yeah. Like this podcast.
Yes. You can listen to this. You can listen to another podcast. You can watch Limitless. That's the holy trinity.
Number 2 is Hollywood Ending, Woody Allen, 2002. Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know what that is. Number 3 is Jumper. I like Jumper. That's probably true, though. The Jumper, the idea of that Jumper universe.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Number 4, Invention of Lying. Yep. Number 5, Lucy.
Yeah, see, there's another one where she's got unlimited powers. She's like, I'm going to turn myself into a USB stick.
Wow. Number 2016, hard agree here.
Number 2016.
From 2016, number 6, hard agree. Hard agree. Batman, Superman.
Yep, agreed. Yeah.
Because, like, we got that, but what if we got
Something better.
like something better than that?
Yeah.
It's not even like, I don't think it's awful. We've talked it to death, but, like, imagine if it was better.
Again, like as we mentioned in that first letter, we've derived a lot of enjoyment from the movie Batman v Superman. It's just not very good.
And a lot of content.
What
What about the butterfly effect?
Okay, sure.
Sure, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you see that 70s show is coming back, but that's 90s
That
show?
90s show.
But it's Red and Kitty in 90s with Eric and Donna's kid. So it's a sequel series.
Oh.
And people are like, didn't you know, like now the 90s is far away from the 70s from the 90s or whatever. You know?
They're wrong. It was 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
The 90s was 10 years ago. So
Kurt Cobain's last album was 10 years ago.
that's right.
Yeah.
Radiohead were flying high.
I don't know Radiohead, Mason. Were they ever flying high? I don't
Yeah.
think they've ever truly been a successful band, critically or commercially.
Wow.
I've never seen them.
Well.
What about this one? Vantage Point.
Don't know what that is.
It's about assassinating the president, and Dennis
Nice.
Quaid's in it or something.
Nice.
Gerald's Game. Gerald's Game is good. This shouldn't be on here. That's bullshit.
Which one's Gerald's Game?
It's Mike Flanagan who did Midnight Mass. Have you seen Midnight Mass on?
Oh, no, but it's on my list.
It's very good. You should watch it. Gerald's Game is solid, like really good.
Okay, what's it about?
It's about a woman. It's got
I think you've mentioned it before. But
she's like tied to a bed for the entire thing. Carla Gugino
yes.
is in it.
Oh, yeah, I've seen trailers for that, yes.
It's very good.
Okay.
And there's a pretty graphic one scene in particular which I won't get into because if you want to watch it.
Okay.
And number 10, The Happening. Yeah, everyone's killing themselves, but why? It's the trees. Interesting premise, right?
You saying it's the trees?
You saying the trees are killing themselves? No one's saying that.
Mark, listen.
Mark, you need to get this line. We're filming the movie The Happening. You need to understand the premise.
I'm in the movie happening?
Yes, Mark. You're a famous actor.
So there's a movie happening? No, Mark, the movie's called The Happening. Mark.
Anyway.
If I may add something, I feel like I love heist movies, but not all of them stick the landing.
Completely agree.
I think there's a lot of where it's like, the premise is we're going to steal a bunch of gold out of a plane or whatever. And then, of course, at the end, it's like, we already stole the gold out of the plane.
There was no plane.
There was no plane.
The plane was a bus.
It was the magic school bus. We shrunk it down.
Yeah,
we
we
put it in a
stole-
security guard's bum, and then we opened it up in the bank vault.
Wow, really?
That's actually okay, yeah.
Yeah.
How about this gritty Reboot of the magic school bus, but they're using it for crime? Is
Yeah,
that what the magic school bus was?
No, they go inside the human body and be like, fuck.
That's what
this
I'm talking
is,
about,
This is
yeah.
gross as, man.
Yeah.
All right. I got one more tweet here, or have you got a letter?
I got one more letter.
Let's do it.
It's from Graham. He says, "Hey, James and Meso, I just saw my first Weekly Planet tee out in the wild.
Sick.
I told the guy, nice shirt, and he said, thanks. Can I get a shout out for that guy in the tee? Also, can I be the official long pause of the podcast?" Graham from Ohio.
You got it. You got
Yes,
it, Graham.
You can.
And shout out to that guy you saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big ups to that guy.
Big ups to that guy, both of you.
If you see a guy or a gal or someone, any person at all in a Weekly Planet t-shirt, if you could say, "Hey man, that t-shirt is poggers," you wouldn't mind. And then if you could say, which I understand is young people speak for good.
But it doesn't mean pog. It's something about a green frog
Something
face.
about a frog. Froggers?
You don't say froggers.
No, don't say
you gotta
froggers.
sound
Yeah,
silly.
yeah.
You gotta sound silly.
You've got to say that t-shirt, sir or madam, that t-shirt is poggers.
Agreed. This is from Kay Linnaeus, who says, "Hey, James and Mason, you guys are my best friends and I love you."
Or if you could say,
Oh.
"I love that t-shirt, just not on you."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's rude.
Yeah.
You're going to get punched.
Then send an email. I want to hear about it.
So Kay Linnaeus says, "Hi, James and Mason. You guys are my best friends and I love you. Anyway, what do you think of parasocial relationships?" Pretty weird, right? Hashtag Weekly Planet Pod. Yeah, I don't think we have that as much as some people, but I've seen some like popular streamers and like bigger YouTubers.
Yeah.
And when they put out more like personal information,
Yeah.
there is this sense of like ownership and whatever. We get it more like, you disagree with this thing that I love and now I hate you because we're the same or whatever. And it's like, I don't know you. Like, and I don't mean that as like an insult, but I just don't.
Yeah.
I just don't know you.
Yeah.
So talking about you, Mason.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
I
really know you. We've
Yeah,
been
yeah.
slowly drifting apart. But anyway, what do you think of parasocial relationships?
I think they're great. As you know, I'm friends with all of the listeners. I'm
See, you're not helping,
true
Mason.
friends.
You're creating parasocial relationships.
No, this is a parody. This is satire. It's whichever one gets me out of trouble legally.
Very good. I think legally, though, that's the show.
Yeah, that's right. Congratulations to everyone for getting through
It's a long one.
to us.
Yeah.
Finally.
Finally.
Folks, we very much appreciate you being here.
We really do.
We thank you for listening.
We do. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for subscribing.
We thank you
you
for
for telling
subscribing.
your friends. Thank you for telling someone with a Weekly Planet t-shirt that it's
nice
poggers.
shirt. Oh,
Thank you for telling people that our podcast is poggers.
And because it is.
It's absolutely poggers.
It's the most poggers thing.
And thank you for leaving a 5-star review on any platform you can get it on, because that helps us very much.
Totally.
James, you have any
Totally.
there?
This is from Joe Mock, who says, 5 stars. A great time every time. Recently found this show through YouTube and now listen to the podcast every week. The easiest way to put it is it brings me great joy to listen to. It's the best. Thank you, Joe. And this one is from BBML101, who says, so woke. 5 stars. Wokely Planet. So true. That's
Nice.
true.
That is
Yeah.
good.
What's next?
Folks, if you want to get into contact
If you want in it, what are you doing? What am I doing?
If you want to get into contact with us, you go to weeklyplanetpod at Gmail, at Facebook, at Twitter,
Weekly Planet
at
Pod.
Bandcamp. You can go to the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group if you want to have some fun podcast-related chats.
I do.
You can also go to the Weekly Planet subreddit. You can go to the Weekly Planet Discord. You can follow our good friend and editor, Raw Collings, on Twitter, at Raw Collings, and at The Weekly Planet. You can follow me on Twitter, at Wikipedia Brown. You can follow me on Instagram, at Nick Maso, NickMaseeau. You can follow James at Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere.
I will post on Instagram again. Don't you even worry
I've
about
also
it.
taken some months off. Because sometimes you're like, I'm inside my house. Not a lot to take photo of in here.
Absolutely. That's everything.
No, it's not. No, it's not, James. There are other things. If you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies.
Yep.
You can chuck in a buck or any amount you wouldn't miss. That's the key.
That's the Weekly
key
Planet
figure.
guarantee
Is it?
that you can do that.
That is, you can. We believe in you.
Yep.
If you believe in us.
When we do believe in you.
That's right. You can also go to bigsandwich.co. You can sign up for $9 dues per month. All sorts of bonus podcasts and early videos and all kinds of stuff. We're having a great time over there.
I completely agree.
It's pretty loose over there, I'll tell
It
you
is,
what.
it is.
It's less structured than this
Oh,
podcast,
there's some
if you
stuff.
can
I mean,
imagine.
we do prepare.
We do.
Like, we don't
that's
come
true,
in with
yeah.
nothing.
Okay. Here's my breakdown of it. I feel this podcast, there is less there is less of a framework on this podcast because it could go anywhere. It could be a review or it
Yeah.
could be like a list of things like we did this week. But it has, segments and structure and whatever. I think the Big Sandwich podcast, they have they have more specific premises.
Yes.
But ultimately they can go anywhere.
Totally.
know.
And they often do.
They often do.
And thank you for everybody who just even listens to this even.
That's right.
Subscribe to
Yeah,
it. But
that's
we
right.
appreciate it.
You can also buy some T-shirts on tpublic.com. Just search for The Weekly Planet. Thank you to The Brute and The Basilisk and Rackham for all the musical themes. Next week, we're talking about DC Fandome. It's going to be off the dome.
And maybe the movie Halloween. New Halloween's out, I think, on streaming.
Oh, yeah. Halloween
I
Kills.
think, yeah.
Ooh. What day is it? It's the 8th.
What day? What's
currently the 9th.
boy, what day is it?
currently
I think
the 9th?
I think it comes out on the 15th.
Should we save Halloween Kills for
Maybe the following week.
the following
we might
week because
have
it'll
to,
be
yeah.
Halloween?
Yeah, good point.
Spookiest time of the year.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Grab that gem. We will see you next week.
And goodbye.
Till next week.
Oh, no, my computer's running low on a battery.
Should we get the guy in there? I mean, we paid $100,000 for this dude.
Oh, fuck him. I don't want him. All right.
Bye, everyone.
Gross. Nobody wants that guy. Does he have a name?
Do you really want to ask it?
No, I don't, actually.
Yeah, cool.
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
I mean, if you want. It's up to you.